the basis of this survey? How has this survey been conducted? We'd like to recap the survey methodology once again, ladies and gentlemen. 21 major states, accounting for 95% of the Lok Sabha constituencies, have been covered. 1,18,616 have been polled with a questionnaire. It's a computer-aided personal interview, or CAPI, in 11 languages. A total of 518 Lok Sabha constituencies have been covered. So 518 out of 543, nearly 95% overall of Bharat has been covered across these 21 states and union territories. 210 interviews have been conducted in each Lok Sabha constituency. 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies in each Lok Sabha seat have been covered. 5 polling booths have been selected via random sampling. That's the extent of this, what we can very proudly say, most widespread, comprehensive and exhaustive opinion poll, the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Day 1, these are the states that were covered. Uttar Pradesh, where it was a clear sweep for the NDA, 77 out of 80 seats to the NDA. Then Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bihar. These were some of the standout states out of the 9 states that were covered. What are the big takeaways? Historic 77 seats for the BJP in Uttar Pradesh, if you look at the numbers. And in Tamil Nadu, the NDA gets and breaks open its account, 5 seats there, 30 seats to the DMK Congress India Alliance. If you look at the states of Kerala, 14 seats to the UDF, 4 to the LDF. So the LDF pinching back 4 seats, but 2 seats to the NDA. Many were very surprised whether that'll really happen. In Bihar, it's 39 out of 40, 38 out of 40. Last time it was 39 out of 40. This time it's 38 out of 40 for the NDA. INDI Alliance getting 2 seats. So that's how the breakaway at this point is. What are the takeaways? The survey suggests that the BJP is sweeping the heartland. The survey also gives us the takeaway that it's a historic win and never before for the NDA in Uttar Pradesh. The expansion of the entire saffron footprint is also visible in the south. Pollsters are predicting Tamil Nadu surge. BJP set to open its account in Kerala. All of these aspects stand out in these takeaways, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to the numbers. We have our guests already with us. Let's get to the numbers now. The overall picture is right next to me. We can show 174 seats and 61. But let's try and get to the first numbers. Karnataka and Assam. We are going to talk about Karnataka and Assam. In the studios with me, Javed Ansari, Tehseen Poonawalla, Nistula Hebbar, Rahul Shivshankar and Shivani Gupta with us. Rahul Shivshankar, quickly, if you want to just go back to what happened yesterday. Day 1 of the mega opinion poll here at News 18.
Yeah, thanks Anand. Let me just quickly break it down. 174 out of 242 called yesterday, with NDA needing 100 out of 301 more for a simple majority. To today, we'll just have to see that conversion rate. It has to win 1 out of 3 seats that we called today. If it needs to just get to where it was, past the halfway mark, not even to where it was, in fact. And can it get that sort of ratio, 1 out of 3 seats as we project them? That's the million-dollar question. But the good news, at least for the NDAs, they'll take heart from this. In Uttar Pradesh, plus 7%, vote share swing in its favor over 2019. Bihar, 5%. In Haryana, 4%. In Delhi, 1.5%. In Punjab, 3.5% swing in its favor. And in the 2 states that are actually creating ripples, and this survey is making a lot of news for, is the projection on Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Tamil Nadu, 10% vote share jump for the BJP, giving it, at least according to our survey, 5 seats there out of 39. Huge number. It will be seen as a massive breakthrough. In Kerala, 2 out of 20, a jump of about 5% in the vote share. That's one of the reasons why these numbers are looking inflated. But let me give you some very interesting statistics. The quality of the victory will be the key. So today, when we really look at this, we have to analyze if the BJP is actually doing better than it did in 2019. And if it's a tight election, then this number will tell us. What are the numbers? BJP won 224 seats in 2019 with 50% vote share. So those 224 in 2019 were won with 50% plus vote share. 88 more than 2014. We need to see if it can stay with those vote shares. If it doesn't, this could be an open contest, viewers, let me tell you. And let me now take you back to the other side. Why is it that the BJP decided to quickly approach JDU, perhaps break the Shiv Sena, and also laser focus on the SAD? There could be backroom talks going on, we don't know, but this is a very telling number. The non-BJP parties secured a vote share of 50% plus in 117 seats. So, BJP got those in 224, but the non-BJP parties got them in 117 seats. Now, these very interestingly include Shiv Sena, which was the United Shiv Sena, the JDU and the SAD. And you see where the BJP is hit hard. It wants those parties weakened so it can retain that number and perhaps exceed. Remember, the number now, Mr. Modi set is not 303, it's 370, and for the NDA 400 plus. That's why this concerted effort over 5 years to break down the Shiv Sena, to break down, win back the JDU, and to, of course, focus hard on the other side and try to break down the alliance game. Intriguingly, very interesting, this jump in vote share for the BJP, and I'm leaving it back to you, in those 224 seats, did not yield many more than obviously 2014. So while from 88 they went to a huge number of 224, and that means, as you can see, 88 more than 2014. It didn't get them many more seats. The vote share increased in seats where it's already quite strong.
Correct.
It needs to jump up in seats where it is not strong.
See,
to make that conversion 1-3.
Overall, what we are looking at is, and I think somewhere the Prime Minister has shifted the dynamic. He has said 370 and 400 par. Technically, in our minds, ladies and gentlemen, we need to remember it's 272 par. If the NDA crosses 272, they are back in government. And if they go 300, then they are comfortable. Now, 303 is the last time around, 325, 330 plus overall for the NDA. That's why the Prime Minister has shifted the goalpost. But basis on this opinion poll, Shivani Gupta is there on the wall with us.
But the point is, had they not done what they've done to the Shiv Sena, not won back the JDU, it could have been a very tight contest.
See, even now it is very about retention.
Yeah.
You have to also gain. You have to make more. So 303 to 370.
So it needs to break out of those 224 seats.
Yeah.
To get more than 30-40% of the vote share.
242 का तो report card निकल गया. 301 का निकलने वाला. Yes, Shivani.
No,
yes.
You talked very rightly about how the BJP, led by the Prime Minister, have themselves extended their expectations to that 400 par mark, and that's going to be historic. And you talked about where do they gain. Now, yesterday, as Rahul very rightly mentioned, what was the headline of our opinion poll, the Mega News 18 opinion poll? 2 seats in Kerala, 5 seats in Tamil Nadu. Now, a lot of people are debating this still this evening. And today, we're going to actually talk about the other big southern states as well. We've got Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka results coming up in just a bit. And these are states a lot has happened. Karnataka went back to Congress. Telangana has gone to Congress. You've got Andhra, where the BJP and the TDP for the first time since 2018 are coming back together.
True.
So a lot to watch out for.
Correct. But if you were to look at that belt, interestingly, let's keep Karnataka out. If you were to look Andhra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, that's about 100 seats, ladies and gentlemen. And it's less than 10 seats for the BJP there. The NDA has not done well. Now, ADMK is also not part of that grouping. So, it's not going to be easy. They have to, and the part is, they have to get 67 more seats than the last time around. BJP itself, is it getting it or not? Let's look at where it is standing right now. 242 seats. The race to 272, because that's the halfway mark. So for us, first that, uske baad jo target set kiya, wo if they meet it or not. So where is the BJP right now or the NDA right now? At 174. They need to get another 98 seats out of 301 remaining today. 98 seats to get to this 272 halfway mark. That secures them, as per the News 18 Mega Opinion poll, a third term. And INDA Alliance is at 61. Will they get up close to about 200? Will they become a stronger opposition than they were in 2019? 2024 will we see perhaps a little more opposition and heft for the opposition as far as the parliamentary constituencies and at the centre in parliament is concerned. We'll have to wait and watch. Let's try and break this down before we get comments from our guests here. We already have the numbers for the next most important state, the only bastion in the south where the BJP often has ruled the roost. Irrespective of who's in power at the state, they have returned big gains at the centre. The state of Karnataka, the first of the states, the 12 states we're going to cover in this part 2 of the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. The state of Karnataka, 28 seats, 25 to the NDA, 3 to the Congress. 25-3. Is it the same score as the last time around? JDU this time around with the NDA. Now we are looking at 25-3. Let's look at the vote share in Karnataka. The BJP claimed that despite their loss in the Vidhan Sabha, they net posted a 2% vote share gain. NDA is getting 58% vote share. The Congress with 35% vote share. The other 7% vote share. The calculations, do they actually work? Karnataka, park it there. Let's bring in another state. Let's just jump across to Assam and let's see what's happening in that state. The big brother of the seven sisters in the northeast. This is NDA. 14 में से 12. Others take 2. Nothing for the INDI alliance. So nothing for the Congress party. The others, the 2. If the AIUDF is going it alone, is it the AIUDF or another of the breakaway parties, but not part of the INDI alliance? It is 12 out of 14 seats for the NDA. That means the NDA already breaks into the 200 mark. 211 is the total number out of 284 seats now. So from 242, add another 42 seats, 284. The NDA already is there in Assam with a vote share of 49% NDA, 39% to the INDI alliance. Others are 16%. Overall score goes up to 284 for the NDA. 284 for out of 543. That's the number of seats that we are calling out. 211 for the NDA. INDI alliance 64. That's the score as of now. Let's come back to Karnataka. Shivani,
So
does it mirror or is it one less?
It's an interesting picture. 25 is what BJP won last time. This is the number from 2019. So NDA was at 26, but this NDA that we have formulated is actually with the BJP and the JDS now together. So one seat was JDS, 25 was BJP on its own. So they could argue they've kind of retained that. But Congress only had 1 last time. This time the Congress is gaining 2 to come to 3. And you also mentioned vote share around 35%. The Congress was about just shy of 32% last time around. So they are gaining, which is possibly not surprising, Anand, because they've just won a big mandate as far as the state elections are concerned. So this is how it was. And actually, if you include one other, which was Sumalata Amrish, the independent with the BJP, then it was 27 for them out of 28.
But Sumalata Amrish were actually helped by the BJP. That was the story on ground because there was
she's
a sympathy.
effectively with
But
the BJP.
now Rahul Shivshankar, Nistula Hebbar, Javed Ansari and Tehseen Punapala.
Can I
And then you can take it to them. Yeah.
First of all, with respect to the opinion poll, I went home yesterday, I analyzed Tamil Nadu, and I'm going to say this on TV. It is impossible the BJP gets 5 seats in Tamil Nadu. It is impossible. Anand, I can guarantee you, with a lot of respect, you guys cannot tell me the 5 seats they're getting. I respect your poll. I respect it's a science. I have a lot of respect for this, for the pollsters. I'm sure they spoke to all these people. But 5 seats for the BJP. And I didn't react yesterday.
Right.
It is impossible. Impossible. Okay. I can understand there's a fight in Coimbatore.
Okay.
I can understand there's a fight in
Can we
Kanyakumari.
take the story forward?
With the Hindu, you
we'll
cover
go back
Tamil
to the
Nadu
national
very, very
picture.
closely. Sorry, just give me 30 seconds. Sorry, I'm sorry. Just allow me, please.
Yeah.
Except for these 2 constituencies, can you tell me as of today, is the BJP seriously in a fight? I'm not saying that the Prime Minister has not gone there the most after any political state. I'm not saying they're not making waves. I'm not saying the organization is charged. I mean, it simply isn't there. If this is true, I should give up political analysis. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
Nobody's giving them those fights.
Now, hold on to
do you
that.
think 5 seats?
Yeah.
5 seats, I find it a little difficult to swallow because I still think that the BJP's project for Tamil Nadu, which operates as all such political projects do at the organizational level, at a community consolidation, vote bank consolidation level, and at the narrative level. There's been a lot of push there, but it is still a project in the making.
Okay, let's come back to
Sorry,
Karnataka.
Coimbatore and Kanyakumari.
Let's
Those are the only
let's
Karnataka,
come
let's
back.
talk
I'll
about
tell you what. You
Kanya-
can. Now, Tessin, we can agree to disagree and let's park it there.
We can't
Because
give them
1
5
minute,
seats in
1
Tamil
minute,
Nadu.
1 minute,
If
sir,
you
1 minute,
come
sir.
back to
History,
Tamil
yeah, history is evident.
How does this become a...
Look, I've
No,
also
come back to
spoken about
Karnataka.
it.
No,
Let's
come back to Karnataka. You are in
Let's-
power in the state, and you still are gaining 2 seats out of the 28. So let's talk about
Let me
that.
tell you,
Yes.
this is a very interesting point that both Shivani and you are raising. Yes, the Congress won, but the research shows, and I've gone all the way back to the 80s,
Yeah, that's true.
Karnataka has a unique voter behavior pattern. So in 84, 85, 84 was the general election, 85 was the assembly election. The Janata Party under Hegde did poorly in the Lok Sabha but won the assembly. On the last 4 occasions, 2008, 2009, BJP formed a coalition government, if you remember, didn't get the numbers. Yediyurappa opened the gates for the BJP in 2008 in that particular state. Massive celebration, a little short. Guess what happens? In 2009, so
19
technically
seats.
no one won, but the BJP does very well.
Yeah.
19
It wins.
seats.
2/3 in the Lok Sabha. 2013, 2014, Congress wins. Siddha wins, but the BJP wins the Lok Sabha.
Correct.
Okay? That's the Modi wave, the beginning of it.
Yes.
2018, 2019, JDS and Congress win that election. Of course, in 2019, BJP gets 25 out of 28, historic mandate for it. This time, history favors the BJP.
Yeah.
It has lost the assembly, could end up winning the Lok Sabha.
And
So
JDS
history,
is with it.
history said. Now, the problem for the BJP is South. And let me just focus on this. It's very interesting. The reasons, even at the height of its wave, when Yediyurappa swept through in 2008 assembly, guess what happened? The BJP won only 11 out of the 61 states in these 10 districts in the South Karnataka. And in 2019, where did those 3 seats go? To the other side, in South Karnataka. That's why JDS is in the mix. The Vokaliga factor, Old
Correct,
Mysuru region.
But
And if you
here's
look at
what
these numbers,
No, here's what
if
the
you look
opinion-
at these
Yeah.
numbers, the South, actually, they've done better here.
No,
If you
actually,
look,
in the
they've-
South,
they've
last
retained.
time around, the one seat that the BJP did not get was the one that Revana won
They lost
for
3
the
seats there
JDS.
in the South.
But this time around, this is a +1 actually
Yeah.
for the Congress. So
That's right. No, no.
Congress is gaining
The
in
Congress
the South, one
might be-
seat, and they're also gaining in the North. The
Yes.
BJP had swept the North. They're sweeping coastal Karnataka still, 3 out of 3. And of course, this is one in Bangalore. This was the DK Suresh seat.
Yeah.
He's going to be, their incumbent candidate. So this is 4-1 last time around, 3-0 last time around. This was 11, and this was 8 for them.
But this
was
time the
with the
BJP is
JDS.
only contesting 20 seats, at least as
Yeah.
of now. Declared
That's
20.
As of now. No,
They've
so
only
they'll
declared
contest 25.
Okay,
And
now-
They've only
then-
declared
3 to
20.
JDS.
Nistula,
And
Nistula
10
and
out of
Javed.
those-
No, they've only declared 20 till
They will
now.
contest
There's
25.
still 8 to go, out of which we have heard 2 to 3 seats to Mr. Gowda and family.
Yeah.
That's where it's
Mr.
going to go.
Gowda is family.
And his family, yes. And the rest of it, BJP will be fighting on its own. And
So it can't do better than it did last time.
no, it can't, but it
If
has
it
to
finds
repeat.
25 seats,
But it has
will
to
need
repeat.
100% strike rate to win 25.
But
Overall,
it still needs to get to
No.
3.
No, but the
Yeah.
point.
370.
See, the
See,
larger
there are two
picture
things they
is
need to worry about. One is that they let go of the Lingayat vote just before
Completely.
the assembly election. So they have a problem of reconsolidating it. They did some.
With Shettar coming back.
No, they
With
did
Shettar
some.
coming
Yeah,
back.
they did some repair
Shettar,
work.
B.Y.
They got
Vijayendra, party
Vijayendra,
president, yeah.
They got
State BJP.
Yediyurappa's son, B.Y. Vijayendra, as party president. If you look at the list of 20, they've got B.S. Bommai and former Chief Minister, Lingayat
Again,
face,
Lingayat.
etc., etc. They're trying to put their best foot forward there. They've removed some people. They've got the Mysore Maharaja. So in South Karnataka, as Rahul said, of course, that is actually their Achilles heel. The Vokkaliga vote doesn't go to the BJP,
Correct.
which is why they said that, okay, this time round we will have an alliance with Mr. Gowda. Mr. Gowda has his back to the wall. It's a question of survival for his political party. After his dismal showing in the Karnataka Assembly election, we were all together here
Correct.
when we saw it. So he agreed.
To add
And-
to what she's saying, there's a very good data point, sir. which you might be interested in knowing. Whenever the BJP allies, it gains from the alliance, not
Yes.
necessarily the other way.
Because
Other
they
way.
will help in
Yes,
other
Javed ji.
seats in
Sorry.
South
Javed, we
Karnataka.
got 3 guests with us. Sanjay Kumar of CSDC is with us. CSDS. Our Sardar RP Singh is also with us, and Shujat Ali, leader Congress, and Sumant Raman is also with us. But yes, Javed ji
The
first.
word coming out of Karnataka is
Ji.
the BJP stands to gain big time from the alliance, and less so Mr. Gowda. Mr. Gowda, if you speak to him, he says, you know, I was not for it, but what to do? He blames the Congress for pushing him into the lap of the BJP. But be that as it may, it's BJP's to gain. And BJP has a tough task ahead, even repeating 2019.
Correct.
It won't be that easy for them. And this
Correct.
time, if there is a Congress unit which is active and organized in this country, it's Karnataka.
Yeah, but,
Nishula
but
disagree.
there is a big,
One by one,
there is
one-
a big
one.
factor in Tamil Nadu, which is in Karnataka, which is the popularity of the Prime Minister.
Yes.
He has a tremendous amount of popularity there, and that is a factor which is the overriding factor on a lot of
58%
issues.
vote share. There's a
Then-
lot of gap
Huge.
to cover.
But
My dear.
there-
There's
but-
a lot of gap.
No, no, but there is a,
but
it's a
I'll tell
double
you what.
ticket election
But
is
I'll
how
tell
you
you
have
what.
to see it.
But I'll tell you what, the Congress is a very good unit in Karnataka. With Siddaramaiah and DK, they have a very good fighting chance. These are not politicians who don't understand Karnataka. The Vokalega votes is firmly with DK, and I'm telling you this today, the
History
Lingayat
not
vote,
with
the
them.
Lingayat vote, the Lingayat
History not
vote
with
is
them.
also going
Tehseen,
a little
history
bit towards the
no, no,
Congress.
no, Tehseen, I'll tell you what.
This
one
time-
point I
this
have to
time,
tell you,
while I
the
do
largest
agree that
number of
BJP
car
has-
savers for
Mr. Siddaramaiah
in
was in
1992
Yes.
came from the Dakshina Kannada
Of
district
course
of
they
did.
Karnataka,
Yes.
Ram Mandir, and the consecration of an idol that was created in Mysuru by a Kannadiga sculptor. All of
All
these
of
things
this,
are
I am
huge.
doubting. I am not saying BJP is not strong. I am saying it
Tehseen
is
can
not
be a
a
very
sweep
strong
like this.
advocate, but the point is nobody thought that the BJP will win 18 seats in Bengal. It did. There have been many
That's
surprises in
completely
the past
different.
when it comes
That
to
is
central
completely
when it
different.
comes to central
That is
elections.
completely
Mr.
different.
Siddaramaiah was in power when the BJP returned
The BJP
25
is
seats the
not
last time
crossing
around
15
too,
in
sir.
Karnataka, and
Lok
it's
Sabha
not
is
getting 5 in
different. PM
Tamil Nadu.
Modi is on the ticket. Who's on the ticket with respect to the Congress
Arey,
party there? You are not even holding the same vote share
The
that you did in the Vidhan Sabha
BJP
elections.
is not crossing 15 in Tamil
Sanjay
Nadu,
Kumar ji.
as is in Karnataka,
Okay, let's
not
go
crossing
across
5
to
in
our
Tamil
guest,
Nadu.
Sanjay Kumar ji. Sanjay Kumar ji is with us. Sanjay Kumar ji, your thoughts, sir, on the News 18 mega opinion poll. 284 seats out and 25-3 is the score as far as Karnataka is concerned. Sanjay ji.
More or less on the expected line. There may be disagreement about one state or two state. Say, I know that there is a disagreement about Tamil Nadu, whether BJP will be able to, win 5 seats or not, whether BJP will be able to win 2 seats in Kerala or not. But more or less, if I look at the big picture, the big picture is more or less on the same lines, that BJP is holding on very strong, NDA is very strong, and in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the India alliance seems to be weakened. About Karnataka, there's a lot of debate about Karnataka. Yes, we have seen in the past that Congress can manage to win elections in the state assembly, but when it comes to the Lok Sabha election, it's a very different kind of voting, especially in Karnataka, and we have seen that happening in many other states as well. You have been mentioning, Narasimhan, that the Modi is on the big, is on the the
Ticket
vote is
here,
for the Modi,
yeah.
and Prime Minister Modi is a vote puller for the BJP in the Lok Sabha election. That's likely to happen even in 2024 Lok Sabha election. So as I said, to conclude, I'm not surprised. I may be surprised a little bit by the extent of victory which the opinion poll is suggesting. I'm also a little skeptical about Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Kerala and Tamil Nadu, a lot of discussion points and conversation points around Kerala and Tamil Nadu because of the seat share projections. We have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the methodology is that each Lok Sabha constituency, 3 Vidhan Sabha areas have been each Lok Sabha seat, 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies have been covered. 218 interviews in every constituency, every Lok Sabha seat has been done. So this is feedback
that's
from.
fine.
No, I'm just saying
That's
this is
fine.
feedback from the ground. Please,
No.
people
No,
can
no.
challenge, accept, disagree. That's true. I'm just putting out the methodology.
I'm glad,
Ji,
I'm
Sanjay.
glad that this is a poll which is showing the methodological details. Absolutely fine. Very good. But that doesn't guarantee.
No,
No, that's true.
The
Can
poll
I
is
just bring
typically
in
a
Absolutely,
Raman?
absolutely. The other
Yeah.
thing is, the other thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we have to also tell you very, very clearly that these are all projections. The number that we need to keep in mind at this point is the BJP saying 370. Right now, if it is not gaining 3 more seats in Karnataka, it is not moving towards the 370 number.
Precisely.
We
That's
have to
the point.
understand that so far it's holding ground. Yesterday or day one of the News 18 mega opinion poll, Rahul Shivshankar had surmised that there is about a 12 to 15 seat gain
Yes.
for the NDA overall,
today,
not necessarily for the BJP.
It hasn't started with a gain. It might end
Yeah.
up with a few losses. We don't know. Our opinion polls suggest that it is holding steady. But, fundamentally, there is a sense of anxiety. You would not be getting rid of 10 sitting MPs and bringing in another 10 if there was no. And the focus is again in that Mysuru South region. That's the Achilles heel. So, Dr. Aman, do you believe the BJP has done enough to secure itself in this South Karnataka area where it has traditionally been weak? In 2 assembly elections that it lost, it only got about 11 out of 61 seats in these 10 districts.
Now, one particular issue that I want to point out, Rahul, is that the JDS is not the JDS it was maybe 10 years ago. So, and we saw that in the assembly election. One very important factor, the Muslim vote in Karnataka, particularly in the old Mysore region, used to be divided between the JDS and the Congress. Now, with this alliance going to the BJP, that Muslim vote is going to go away from JDS and is going to go into the hands of the Congress. So, it doesn't really mean that the JDS got 13% last time. You can straight away add that 13% to the BJP's 36% and then you will get 49%. It doesn't work that way. Second, 36% was the BJP's vote share in the assembly election held about a year or even less than a year ago. It is extremely unlikely that that number would go to 58. I understand Mr. Modi is on the ticket. That would push a very significant proportion of voters towards the BJP.
RP Singh,
and
how do you respond to Dr. How do you respond to Dr. Aman? How do you respond to Dr.
58 is a 22% swing in favor of the BJP, which I don't think is feasible.
Okay, it's not feasible. Fair enough. Yes, go ahead.
Well,
RP Singh.
Dr. Raman himself answered the question. He said it's the big ticket for Prime Minister Modi. This election is not the state election, one. Secondly, over the last few months, there's a very strong anti-incumbency against the state government also. What is happening in Bangalore today is not confined to Bangalore. The message goes to other part of the state also, the water crisis, and the way the promises were made, and they have partially tried to fulfill them at the cost of the development in the state, and this message has percolated down. Our party has also ensured that message goes down, and we are accepting, we have taken the political advantage also of they are not fulfilling the promises as they made. I mean, it has been only partially done and half-heartedly done.
Right. So far, sir, if you want to do better than 2019 as a party and as an alliance, are you on course for that, or are you on course just to be able to get to where you were in 2019? We'll leave the viewers to figure those numbers out as we take a break, ladies and gentlemen. 211, 64, 9 out of 284 seats that have been so far called out of 543 here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Shujat Ali of the Congress with us. Our guests have a lot to say, but we've got a lot of ground to cover. It's a pan-network coverage, and that's why we've got to stick to time and our ad breaks. When we come back, it's 3 more states that we'll add: Rajasthan, Uttarakhand and Telangana. Stay with us. Back on, ladies and gentlemen, on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, and we're going to call out the next 3 states. 284 out of 543 seats called already. 211 to the NDA. NDA on course. 61 seats it needs to get to 272, the halfway mark. Let's look at Rajasthan. 25 seats in the state of Rajasthan. All 25 going to the NDA. The BJP. BJP walking away with all 25 seats in Rajasthan. That's what the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll tells you. 218 interviews from every Lok Sabha seat in Rajasthan. That's what's been used to make the projection, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the standard template across all the Lok Sabha seats surveyed. 518 in all. 61% vote share for the BJP in Rajasthan. Perhaps the first state where the BJP is so comfortably, individually on its own, crossing the 60% vote share mark at the Lok Sabha elections in the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. So this is 61, 33, 6. That's the vote share, but all 25 go to the BJP. That means, again, far more closer to that 272 number, the NDA now. Let's look at Uttarakhand. All 5 go to the BJP. All 5 go to the BJP. In Uttarakhand again, 0 to the Congress party. These are all straight fights between the BJP and the Congress. So there is no alliance called here. That's why the party is being called out. Again, 62% vote share. Another state after Rajasthan where the BJP is commanding a whopping 60+% vote share, 62% vote share for the BJP. That means 241 already. That count is going up to 241. One more state, Telangana. This is going to get everybody a buzz, and we're going to have the debates going through. BJP 8 seats. 8 seats out of 17 for the BJP. So again, gain. Is it gain? 8 seats for the BJP, 6 for the INDI alliance, 2 for the BRS. 8, 6, 2 and 1. That one could be the AIMIM and the old Hyderabad seat. Is that the one? There will be Madhavi Lata who would want to disagree, but the Oaisis have held fort there since the 1980s, since Alauddin Oasis up. So, 27% vote share for the BRS, 28% vote share for the BJP. INDI alliance 34% vote share, the others pulling away 11% vote share. So the moment it's a 3-party fight, 3-party race, the votes are getting split.
Reading error.
Are you telling me that BJP is getting more than the Congress in Telangana?
The BJP is getting more than the Congress in Telangana in the Lok Sabha elections.
Interestingly, not in the vote share. The vote share is still very much 34% for Congress.
At this rate,
but
the BJP should get 500 seats.
Okay, I want to very quickly point out the scenario as far as last time is concerned. Why is everybody abuzz with this result? TRS 2 this time, the BRS 2 this time, that means a loss of 7 seats for the BRS. They had 9 last time, single largest party with 42% vote share almost. The BJP had won 4 last time. It's not like they didn't open their account. They had 4 last time, they're adding 4. They're also adding about 10% in their vote share, according to our opinion poll. The INDA, predominantly the Congress as far as Telangana is concerned, very small marginal partners for them. They had 3 last time, they're adding 3. They're also adding 4% in their vote share. This, I think, is going to be the AIMIM, the others. But here the interesting story is...
That's where the 15% has been split. The BRS 15% minus in their vote share is being gained by
both BJP and the IND. But the others have also lost a little bit. They were 11%. They've come down to just about 9%. I also want to very quickly point out, this is another state, of course, where recently we've had the state elections, the Congress posting a very majestic win here. The Congress had 39% vote share in that election. So in general elections, 34.
So it's
the
a 5%
BRS
slip.
had 37. They're down to 27 as far as general elections are concerned. And the BJP had jumped from 7 to 14 in that election, mind you, which was the big story. So there were 14 roughly. They're going to be about 28 as far as the general elections are concerned.
So the BJP at the center in Lok Sabha is actually pulling vote shares from the BRS and also from the IND or the Congress.
Anand, very quickly, the story, of course, in Telangana is the collapse of the BRS, which is helping both the BJP
collapse of the BRS. Yes,
Anand, let me tell you, I have been tracking Telangana for some time, especially ever since this, the struggle for the creation of that state. I spoke to some BRS people. They were completely on board with the fact that they are not going to get more than 2 seats as of now. But they felt that actually Congress will do better than the BJP. BJP will get around 6 seats and the rest will be with the Congress. And they pointed out some problems with whatever. So, and if you look at the BJP's candidate list also and the kind of joinings that have been happening since then, a lot of BRS people have joined, at least 3 BRS MPs, 2 MLAs, etc. They've all been given tickets. They've joined the BJP. So there is a ground problem for the BJP in that area. Sikandrabad is the only organically BJP seat that they've been winning through the last few years. So all the other places, they have to depend on other from people, from turncoats and things like that. And this BRS person who's extremely cynical, I thought, politically, said, Abhi, the things will run in the same way. In Telangana, what happens is, whoever wins the assembly, that person will win big in the Lok Sabha and the panchayats. And then just close to the election, whatever political change has to happen, then that movement will start. So there is a political momentum in the state, which he said is not going to be disturbed.
I kind of slightly disagree. I believe that, not with you of course, this is a state which is crucial actually for the Congress and the BJP both. For the BJP to prove that when it's up against the Congress, which in Telangana it is now after what happened in the assembly, to prove that it is succeeding in Congress Mukt Bharat, it has to do better against the Congress. If it doesn't, well, they're egg on its face. So there is a little bit of prestige here. But for the Congress, this will be a little worrisome because they were hoping to once again do better against regional parties, script a comeback. If they have to do well in the neighboring state of Andhra, Telangana would have been. Because BJP, I put in my notes, needs to breach the 25% to be a serious contender, and our poll is showing
28%.
28%. So I think we're prescient here. The thing is, for BJP, Telangana is the second state after Karnataka. Where it actually has a chance of doing better.
Now so in this case, if Mr. Amit Shah is watching this, he's going to be upset with us because only the other day he said 12 out of 17 seats. 12 seats is what the BJP is hoping for. In Telangana, many would say unprecedented. There can be different opinions. I'm just putting out what the BJP believes at this point. They may be totally off the ball.
No, but they play always the maximalist position.
Not just the maximalist position. This was the reaction of the BJP MLAs the day after the Telangana result. Their thing was that they will win minimum 10 seats. That was the confidence they had despite the Congress taking the Vidhan Sabha. They said Lok Sabha hum minimum 10 jeetenge. That's what their thought process. Now Javed ji. Yes, Javed ji. That's where Amit Shah is saying 12. Ji.
My experience tells me never go by what the leaders say. Amit Shah said he'll win 200 seats in Bengal, in Karnataka. You have to talk up.
He said 115 Gujarat.
You have to talk up your position because you need to
pump up your own cadre.
No, but as far as Telangana is concerned,
let him complete.
And for the BRS is fighting for its survival. For the Congress, it's very important to win and win big there. Because otherwise the Congress will not even go past 54 that it had last time.
Absolutely.
And for the BJP, it's also very important that they do well in Karnataka. They will form the government even if they don't do well in South India. But they need to do well in South India to be able to get anywhere near 370.
Right. Okay. Tehseen,
I am again
going to go to Shujat ji.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say in Karnataka, the Congress is anywhere about 10. In Telangana, the Congress is 12. Come what may. It is this analysis seems to be that you've got suddenly Amit Shah ji said this, Modi ji said this, Modi ji.
But would you concede then if the Congress doesn't do well in Telangana, according to your numbers, it is actually in trouble?
If this is the numbers in Telangana, Congress is not crossing 50.
Even if it does well in Telangana, it is in trouble because the Congress will not get anywhere near 100.
Where is it losing? Where is it losing so much if they don't win
if they
so
don't
well
get those
in
numbers in
Telangana?
Telangana, if these are the numbers, Congress is not crossing 50.
After the manner in which Rahul Gandhi has sort of played up the North versus South, the wisdom of the voters, etc., his prestige is on the line more than anyone else.
Okay, let's just go across. Shujat Ali ji, Telangana and Karnataka, the opinion poll does not show big gains for the INDI alliance, especially the Congress party. Kya kahenge? How would you see this, sir? Despite that big win in Telangana, Revant Reddy and team will not get more than 6 seats. in the Lok Sabha?
According to our internal survey, which has come just now, we are going to get minimum 20 seats in Karnataka and 14 seats in Telangana.
Fantastic, sir. And
Our position is very strong in both these states. 20 in Karnataka and 14 in Telangana.
Sir, when was the last time the Congress won 20 seats in Karnataka, sir?
Last time you don't ask where.
No, sir. I'm saying when was the last time, despite being in power, that the Congress won 20 seats in Karnataka Lok Sabha, sir?
See, BJP came in 1980. Before that, only Congress was ruling the entire country.
Correct, sir. So you are going back 44 years.
So our position is very strong in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Telangana.
Sir.
As far as Telangana is concerned, I would like to tell you again, we are going to get 14 seats in Telangana.
14 seats in Telangana. Okay. Sardar RP Singh?
Yes.
You're saying 14 seats in Telangana. We will check with Sardar RP Singh. Your thoughts, sir? 8 seats बहुत ज़्यादा दे दिया opinion poll में आपको.
Ask him.
कैसे जीत सकते हैं आप 8 सीट? How can you win 8 seats, sir?
जी, thank you so much. Thank you. Anand, in the assembly election also, our vote percentage doubled from 7 to almost 13.95 or 14%. And this time again is going to double because there's a rider again. The Prime Minister's election for the Prime Minister of the country. It's election for the country. It's not the state election. And the Telangana CM has already stated that he wants to follow the Gujarat model. And if you want to follow the Gujarat model, then yes, people would like to vote for a person who can help the state also with the Gujarat model. And that's the Prime Minister Modi.
Well, let me bring in the gentleman from the spokesperson of the BRS. So this is not looking very good for regional parties. You had succeeded in stalling the advance of the Congress and the BJP. Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, both were pushing up regional parties. Now that's not happening. Okay.
BRS panelists just dropped out. But Sanjay Kumar ji, would you look at this number? If I can ask Sanjay Kumar, Shujat Ali, Sumant C. Raman, and we have Sardar RP Singh with us. So Sanjay ji, do you believe that the BJP will have gains in Telangana? Because if they want to move closer to 350 as a party from 303, Telangana is one of the states they have to make big gains in.
Anand, you're right that Prime Minister Modi has, set a target that BJP would be winning 370 and NDA would be winning 400 plus. If BJP has to come anywhere close to that, they need to make gains in the southern state. We are discussing Telangana. I'm not surprised that Telangana in the Lok Sabha election, it is heading for a bipolar contest between BJP on one side and the Congress on the other side.
Jee.
So I'm not surprised about that because voters of the state realize that this is not a state assembly election and the two claimant for forming the government at the center would be BJP or the Congress along with their allies. Even though they realize that Congress may be, poor second, but still the possibility of challenging BJP at the center would be the Congress. So I'm not surprised that the polls suggest that 8 seats to BJP and 6 to Congress. I would not stick my neck out to say, oh, Congress may get 8 and BJP may get 6. But I think more or less this is the direction in which I see Telangana moving in 2024 Lok Sabha elections.
250 nearly, 249 out of 284 so far. 331, beg your pardon. 249 out of 331 so far. Right there above me, the score is there. 70 for the INDI alliance, 12 others. 331 may say 249. 249. We have gone to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 states. 14 states we have declared. 14 states declared. Yeah.
In 2 states now, Karnataka and Telangana, the Congress actually affecting the fortunes of the regional parties. Interesting. How will that be viewed by other prospective partners, so-called secular parties? That's interesting. In Karnataka, winning on the back of JDS and here at the expense of the BRS.
because it's gone with the BJP. How's
No,
Congress
it happened
assembly
in the
elections as
assembly elections.
They were not partners in
Tehseen.
the assembly.
I know they
And
weren't, but I'm
this
saying
is-
that they were
but this
gaining
is
at the
not a new
expense of a
phenomenon.
regional player.
But this is not
and
a-
that's the reason why
when
today the
BJP
JDS
no,
is with the
But
BJP.
if
No,
BJP
but
gains at the expense of an alliance partner,
Let
or a regional
Javed ji
partner,
speak
is that in the BJP? Can we
This
can we
JDS
think about
business
the
is not
secular
a new
vote, sir.
phenomenon.
The BJP
They-
doesn't claim to have a
Congress and-
secular,
Congress-
So the BJP is not
Okay,
secular.
okay.
The Congress
It
and
doesn't claim
and
to
the
be-
JDS have been contesting each other since Kingdom Come. This is not something which has happened today. How does that affect all the other regional parties?
And you had a point to make to Sumansi Raman about the Muslim vote
Mr.
also.
Suman was
Sumant Raman
talking
is
about
also
that
there. Yeah. Yes.
consolidation of Muslim vote. Look, every time one Muslim vote alone cannot make or mar a party's fortunes, and it can only make a difference if it is in conjunction with when other castes, other communities join in. By itself, and if there is a Muslim consolidation, then the reverse will happen. There will be a majority community consolidation also. So therefore, we overhype or we talk. We give it far more importance than actually it happened.
Fair point made. The other aspect is even the Muslim vote, even the Muslim vote can be split based on segments or sections or sectarian or caste groupings within the Muslim society itself, be it the Sunni votes, the Shia votes, the Pasmanda, Sufi votes, all of that can also break down, and there is a difference even in gender, the men and the women among the Muslims.
And just one quick point about Karnataka. I come back to Karnataka again. This is bothering me a lot. How does the BJP claim to get, or the survey says the BJP is getting both the Lingat and Vokalika votes if it's getting this many seats, and there's a polarization in the Muslim vote.
During Lok Sabha polls,
Yes.
they do get.
That's true, but the
That's why they
Lingats...
won,
Tehseen,
but
if you
Mysore
ask,
and other
Tehseen, if you
states
are
of
asking a
southern
question,
Karnataka.
you
At
ought to
this
also
point,
listen. If you are asking a question, at least hear her
Allow me
answer.
to finish. I tell you the combination the Congress is here. The Congress in the south of Karnataka has a good thing going with the Vokallikas, with the minorities, with the Kurba, with the SC, the community, the Kurba
Sir,
from where
you
the
are
chief
looking
ministers
at this
come.
as if it's an assembly
Assembly
election.
election,
This is a
exactly.
national election where
And I
Modi is
give the
on the
Prime
ticket.
Minister
People are-
3-4%
Okay,
deference
no,
in the
no,
BJP.
3 or 4 is...
15
It's a
seats.
15%.
More than
Excuse me,
that.
does he not swing more
Tehseen,
than
Tehseen,
that?
Tehseen.
In
15%.
Karnataka,
The
it does.
Congress will get more than
How
10
much
seats
did
in
Tehseen,
Karnataka.
what was the
Tehseen,
Congress's, what was the
Let him
BJP's,
also-
in Karnataka, what was the BJP's vote share? Can we pull that number up in 20...
Let's go back to
You want to go to
Karnataka.
Karnataka?
Let's go back to
Yeah,
Karnataka.
state election. Can we bring in Karnataka state election and look
State
at the
election
BJP?
I don't have quite here, but
Okay.
you wanted to know
Well, states,
for the
I think, yeah.
2019 Lok Sabha we have, we've not got...
2014 Lok Sabha we have.
I was looking at the 2023 state election in Karnataka.
So Karnataka, I remember this, they had retained their vote share about 36%.
36%.
They lost
And what
seats,
is it in
but
Lok
they
Sabha?
retained their vote share.
20% more. In Lok Sabha, it's
That's
almost
an
20%
outlier in
more.
2019.
No,
it's not an
repeating
outlier.
in
Interestingly,
Sir,
in
even in
Karnataka,
2014 this was the
that's
case.
another fact. I remember this. There was a 2% bump up for the BJP. The BJP increased its vote share in Karnataka by 2% despite the Congress victory and a big win there. So, despite losing the assembly elections, they had a 2% bump up in the Vidhan Sabha elections, and there has always been a 15 to 18% bump up for the BJP in Karnataka when it comes to Lok Sabha. So, the Prime Minister on the ticket is not 3 to 4%, Tehseen Poonawalla, it's upwards of 15%. Sardar RP Singh, will you take the 8 seats in Telangana? Because that's 4 less than what the Chanakya of the BJP has set as target.
Is that for
और सिर्फ 8 में तो आपका 370
Well,
तो नहीं
Chanakya is
लगता
never-
लग रहा सर.
Chanakya is never wrong. Let's understand this, especially with the parliamentary election. He can never go wrong. And also, again, I reiterate, we have increased our vote bank every time. I mean, we were 7% to 14%, and now we are again going to increase this time again. And as I said, this is a parliamentary election. This is election for Prime Minister Modi. This is not election for the local state chief minister. And then again, people are not going to waste their vote by voting for BRS. I'm sorry to say that. They are going to vote for us. The BRS vote is in big number chunk is getting transferred to us.
You know, Anand,
Yeah.
with your permission, I just wanted to go across to Sumant. Sumant, you wanted to come in very quickly, then I have a question for you as well.
Yeah, two quick points, Shivani. One of them is related to Telangana. Actually, the Congress has set a target of 10 seats in Telangana for the party as a kind of a bare minimum. And in Karnataka also, Karnataka they're actually reasonably confident of at least picking up 7 to 8 seats, closer to 10. So this 25-3, I don't see it as a feasible option. Especially, I do agree that the BJP will win the majority of seats in Karnataka, but it is not going to be a sweep.
So you're saying the assembly bump is going to translate into a Lok Sabha bump for the Congress
the
as well?
assembly last time, the Siddaramaiya
No,
government had
that
completed almost
balloon
its
has
full
already
term. There was
busted.
huge anti-incumbency. One minute, Mr. Singh, 1 minute. Last time, in 2019, there was anti-incumbency against the Congress government very significantly because they had almost completed their term. Whereas this time, they're just 1 year old. So it's extremely unlikely that the same. I do concede the BJP will win the majority of seats in Karnataka.
But you know,
I don't believe that it's going to be a 25-3. And Telangana, there is no way they are winning 8 seats.
Okay.
There's no real
we'll have
logical
to wait
way. If you can name the seats, I can take
Suman,
it up.
I had a question for you. I mean, now we've done about 4 major southern states. We showed Kerala, Tamil Nadu yesterday. We are showing you the vote share jump for the BJP in states like Telangana. And of course, in Karnataka, they've always been pretty strong in the Lok Sabha. Suman, don't you think this narrative of the BJP not doing well in the south is not going to stick around? Even in the run-up to these elections, that narrative is already breaking down?
As I said, the BJP will increase its vote share in the southern states, primarily because Mr. Modi is on the ticket. It's not an assembly election, it's a Lok Sabha election. So I'll tell you an example. A BJP NDA alliance in 2014 polled almost 20% in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Right? And then the BJP went back to being a 3% party in the assembly elections after that. So the point really is that this, I would say that it's not the BJP NDA, it's the Mr. Modi factor. But I'm completely disagreeing with the number of seats which are projected. There's no way.
Quickly. We should be actually talking Telangana more because the past record historically, as Rahul Shivshankar and also the empirical data shows, the BJP always becomes stronger in Lok Sabha. In Karnataka, it's not going to be weaker. And especially, Nistula wanted to say something on Telangana. I'm going to take a break, Rahul, so please hold your thoughts.
In Telangana, BJP always says that, when in
Before you take a
84
break.
elections, when they didn't win any seats, they won 1 seat in the United, earlier erstwhile state of Andhra Pradesh, the Hanamkonda seat, which is now in Telangana, and the other in Gujarat. So they keep harping on that. They also talk about the demographic distribution, etc., etc. But what they did before the assembly election, which is change the party president there, remove a very aggressive party president like Bandi Sanjay and get Mr. Kishan Reddy, that hurt their party prospects in that
Not
state.
just that, there was a talk on ground that the BRS and the BJP are in cahoots. And that vote, that anti-BRS vote moved en masse to the Congress, and that's not going to happen in the central Lok Sabha elections, is something which our reporters, our people on ground picked up from the sentiment from the voter on ground.
I feel that there is still
whether Revant Reddy is still able to garner, we'll see. We'll see. Now, this is the number, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a break. Let's look at this number. The big number as of now, 249 for the NDA, 70 for the INDIA, 331 declared. 2 more big states coming in, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. Will that increase the count and take the NDA par to 72? Stay with us here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Back on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, ladies and gentlemen, so far 331 seats, 249 to the NDA. They are within striking distance. 23 seats they need more to cross that halfway number of 272. PM Modi may have set the benchmark very high, but in that race to the parliament and into governance, 272 is the halfway mark. 543 seats in the Lok Sabha. If the NDA crosses 272 even before all the seats are declared, then are they on course to go at least 330 par? Let's try and see where it is. Where will they end on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll? 331 out of 543 seats have been declared. So there are still about 200 plus seats to go, ladies and gentlemen. So that means 212 seats to go. So is that possible? What do you think could be the final number? Stay with us. Let's bring in the next state in the mix, even as our guests are with us. Shivani Gupta with me here on the Magic Wall and Rahul Shivshankar on the consulting editor's chair. The state of Odisha, ladies and gentlemen. Will they shake hands? Will they say, chalo, bhai bhai mein no ladai? We'll have to wait and watch the BJD and the BJP. But it is 21 seats. The BJP will take 13. 8 to the BJD. So 13 more get added to the NDA kitty courtesy the BJP. Is this big gains for the BJP compared to the last time around where they had less than 10 seats? That's the big story, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a shift away from the BJD towards the BJP, and is this the future course? Remember, Odisha votes simultaneously for the Vidhan Sabha and the Lok Sabha. What's going to happen there? Will they all say, bhai bhai mein no ladai? Vote share. 40, 43, 15 and 2. 43% vote share for the BJP when it comes to the Lok Sabha elections. Does that translate to any gains for them in the Vidhan Sabha? We'll have to wait and watch. Highly unlikely. There they believe Naveen Babu is the right person and they trust the BJD, the ODR, the voters. But when it comes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the ticket, Lok Sabha, it is the BJP that they depend on, and that means a 43% vote share will give them a very rich return of 13 seats. And that clearly is more, because my memory serves me right, the BJP last time around had less than 10 seats. So that means there are gains here. What does that mean? Let's get into Chhattisgarh quickly. Let's understand Chhattisgarh is the magic 272 number, getting up with the Chhattisgarh numbers. 11 seats. 11 seats and the BJP taking 10. Straight fight between BJP and the Congress is flattened out, and that's the big news. Here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, 363 out of 543, the NDA touches the halfway mark. 272 for the NDA. That's the big headline right now, with the BJP taking 10 out of the 11 Chhattisgarh seats. Big gains, and with nearly 180 seats still to be declared. 180 seats still to be declared. 16 states announced, 5 states left. 180 seats still to go. The NDA has crossed the halfway mark. Halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. 272 for the NDA on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. That means with 180 seats still to go. 180 seateं बाकी है. You can see the bottom of the screen. 363 out of 543. 180 seats still to go. And the NDA has crossed the halfway mark on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. That's the big flash, the big news here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, ladies and gentlemen. The NDA crosses the halfway mark with still a lot to go. There you go. That's the big one. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the led BJP and the NDA, boom, crosses the halfway mark. 272 plus for them. It's the big win. What does that mean? How many more are left? Because how many more from these 180 can they win to get closer to that 400 par target for the NDA? That's the big question. 130 out of those 180 is that even possible to touch 400. Interesting.
Yeah. But very interesting numbers coming out of Odisha, and one wonders, is this why the BJD may consider an alliance with the BJP? Because look at the reversal. The BJD last time had 12 seats, they're losing 4 according to our poll. So they're coming down to 8. The BJP was at 8, they're gaining 5. So going to 13, and the Congress had 1, they're losing that 1. vote share wise, the BJP is now being projected at 43%. They're gaining 3 from the BJD, 2 from the others. So the BJD comes down to 40 and the BJP goes up to 43. That's the vote share difference. But this is such a story for the BJP because this is one of those states where you know that the elections happen at the same time with the Lok Sabha elections, the state and the assembly and the Lok Sabha elections. And even though the BJP has been trying to inch up as far as the Lok Sabha tally is concerned, they don't really make a dent as far as assembly is concerned.
Look at
Naveen Patnaik always considered very strong as far as Odisha is concerned, but it looks like the BJP could become the single largest party here.
The single largest party as far as Lok Sabha is concerned. Vidhan Sabha will
we'll
be
wait and
different.
see.
Yeah, and Chhattisgarh, if we let's quickly
Yeah,
look
let's
at
quickly
2019.
go across to Chhattisgarh as well. And Chhattisgarh, of course, you know, this is one of those states that they have rest back as well. So they will hope that this is going to be an important one for them. So this is how it stood. They're gaining a couple of seats here. I think one seat here, 10 from 9.
10 out of 11, 9 and 2 last time around. Now Rahul Shivshankar, Javed Ansari, Nistula Hebar will also go across to our guests on the other side or joining us. Tehseen Poonawala has jumped out of the studio. Nalin Mehta is standing there, managing editor, money control on queue. Why don't you walk into the set, sir? It's all right. It's all happening live here. Hamare viewers se kya chupana? Please come and sit. Rahul Shivshankar.
Well,
5 seats plus in Odisha. 1 seat plus in Chhattisgarh, some gains in Telangana. Is the BJP set to do better than 303 right now with 180 seats still to go?
Well, remember that what we are projecting are NDA numbers. There are also certain states where the BJP is in an alliance. So we need to now fine-tune and go back to all these numbers and set the NDA aside. So we need to find out how many JDS is going to win, how many JDU will win, etc., and get to the BJP number. But it does appear that there is a pro-incumbency sentiment now. It can be easily said for Mr. Modi. And the fact is that the India Alliance has a lot of work to do. Perhaps it made a mistake in not going in there and presenting a clear message and a unified front. Because it is absolutely now clear that the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, enjoys a huge advantage in the public imagination when it comes to the national elections. He carries the BJP across the threshold and he seems to have done it now, third election. And if that does happen, he will be, after Nehru, the only other Prime Minister to have repeated his term in office thrice consecutively. Of course, there's a huge debate about whether we should even count Mr. Nehru's first term because it was, as you all know, appointed and did not win a mandate as such. But that's a whole different...
See, 33 seats that the BJP needs to win right now from here, not necessarily 33 seats. NDA is right now at 272, not the BJP necessarily.
Not the BJP.
But out of 180 seats, the remaining states, ladies and gentlemen, we've done about 16 states. We've got 5 states to go and these states are not going to be easy.
So let's do the math very quickly.
There is also a remaining 25 seats.
Anand,
Rahul, there are remaining 25 seats out of the 543 which we've not actually gone ahead and polled or surveyed because we've covered 518 Lok Sabha constituencies. But those numbers we will extrapolate. We will extrapolate just given the trends and how these areas will vote because these are all very, very small groupings which have been left out of the remaining states and union territories. But that we'll come to later. We'll cross that bridge in just a bit. We also have Amitabh Tiwari with us and we have Sanju Verma of the BJP, national spokesperson of the BJP joining us. Namaste and Jai Hind. Thank you very, very much. Amitabh ji, quickly asking you, the gains that are expected. And in Odisha, do you believe the BJP turning the tables on the BJD?
See, in Odisha, since the past 2 elections, BJP has been making some headway. It won 1 seat in 2014, then 8, and then you are predicting 13 seats. So there is a simultaneous election which happens there, and BJD has been benefiting out of this simultaneous election, getting more seats in Vidhan Sabha as well as in Lok Sabha. So we have not seen a very split voting pattern in Odisha as yet, but this shows that there could be a split voting pattern or there could even be trouble for Naveen Patnaik in the Vidhan Sabha elections. I mean, those numbers you don't have, we'll have to wait and see. See, what happens is when a party is pro-government or pro-central government, and if it does not form an alliance with that party, then what happens is that it sends a very confusing signal to the voters. The voters believe that a vote for BJP is similar to a vote for BJD because BJD is pro-central government, and because of the popularity of the Prime Minister in the eastern part of India, as East has been now the focus along with the southern region, it seems that the BJP is doing well. The alliance probably has fell off because conceptually number 1 and number 2 party cannot do an alliance in any state. That's why we have AAP and Congress not forming an alliance in Punjab, CPM and Congress not forming an alliance in Kerala. Whereas Chhattisgarh is on expected lines. 180 seats are more to go, but it seems that you have already covered most of the southern states, except for Andhra, it seems.
Yes.
So it means that the 180 seats which are going to come are not that all weak for the BJP. So there are some strong states also in those 180 seats, including the Northeast. And BJP, mind you, is the number 1 party in the Northeast, along with its various
Maharashtra
alliance
बचा है
partners.
सर, महाराष्ट्र बचा है, बंगाल बचा है.
Correct. तो एक महाराष्ट्र बचा है.
48 Maharashtra, Bengal 42. That itself is 90 seats.
Correct. So 90 is, so 90 is coming from there, and we'll have to wait and see, because these could be the bellwether
25
states
coming in from Andhra Pradesh
in
also.
BJP's mission for 370.
25 coming in from Andhra
And
Pradesh also. So these are not
BJP
going to
has
be
a new
easy.
alliance partner.
So because
A new old alliance partner.
So Andhra BJP has a new alliance partner. So some seats could be added there as well. And we'll have to see Maharashtra and West Bengal.
हाँ, पुराने दोस्त जो रूट कर चले गए अब वापस आ गए. This story happens quite often, ladies and gentlemen. But yes.
So in the case of Odisha, I really would have believed these numbers had this seesaw not happened over the alliance. So the local unit of the BJP has been against this alliance because they feel that they had a good chance this time. Naveen was aging. He had appointed a, like a semi-successor sort of a person who may or may not be very popular among the people, and so they felt this was the best time for the BJP to kind of really go hammer and tongs. But I think this 370 figure and the goal of a 50% vote share across the country, that has kind of pushed the BJP into considering an alliance of this kind. And as Amitabh Tiwari said, the 1 and 2 party going into an alliance, then there are of course people who will be voting against Naveen Patnaik, who would have preferred to vote for the BJP. They might shift their vote to the third party there, which is the Congress. And that seems to have given, locally at least from what I have heard, a little bit of a fillip to the Congress, saying, okay, we've been saying for a very long time that they are in bed with each other. And this is, this is when they have completely staged it here.
Rahul, Nalin and
Nalin,
Sanju
I
have
just
not
want to
spoken
bring you
yet.
in on this. This is an important trend now we're seeing. In the south, we're seeing the regional players, barring of course Tamil Nadu, ceding a little ground now to the national players. So this is a bit of a reversal happening. We haven't obviously looked at Andhra as yet, so we don't know. But in Telangana, in Karnataka, and of course in the state of Kerala, where of course the left and the Congress are historically, and the BJP is getting in. So obviously that remains a story. But and now in Odisha, you have the third party, the regional satrap, basically losing out. Is this a larger trend that we're seeing?
So I think what's happening is, and we talked about this earlier in the morning, Rahul, you wrote a piece on this as well. For the last, say, 15 odd years, from the Kamandal Mandal days, is the regional satraps who kind of held sway in a large number of states, and as the Congress ceded space. What's happening now is many of the regional satraps are now towards the winter of their lives. So there is a succession issue in most of these states, and there is also an alternative issue. The BJP as a national party is far more aggressive than the Congress in its heyday in the 80s and so on. So what's happening now is that...
Sorry, finish, make your point.
So the point I'm trying to make is that whether it's a Lalu, whether it's the Badals in Punjab, whether it's Naveen Patnaik here, barring Tamil Nadu or barring DMK, in almost every major state with a regional satrap, and that includes Mamata Banerjee too, there's a question mark over what after.
According to our survey, even the DMK is losing ground in Tamil Nadu. Let me just bring in Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, now there are 3 issues that the Prime Minister has been banging on with. One is Parivarvad, and obviously the regional parties are built around very strong individuals who have, a sort of dynastic sort of bent of mind. And secondly, of course, performance. And third is the Ram issue and going back to the civilizational ethos, etc., etc. All of this seems to be working for you. Are you a bit disappointed, though, that the BJP is not careering towards that 370 mark, as perhaps you might have hoped?
Rahul, without wishing to sound offensive,
No.
I remember prior to the Chhattisgarh 2023 assembly poll results coming out, every political pundit worth his salt said, Bhupesh Baghel to dobara वापस आ रहे हैं. Nobody gave us a chance in hell to form the government. And I think the BJP surprised everybody. The reason I'm, giving this example is, just to digress a little bit from your point, I was particularly excited about the Odisha numbers, where you give us 13 seats and you give the BJD 8. That is 4 down from its tally last time. Something which nobody seems to be mentioning here is that there is one thing which is very common to Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Odisha. We all know that in Chhattisgarh, tribal population is 31% of the total population. In Madhya Pradesh, that number is about 25 to 26%. The state with the third largest tribal population in India at 23% is Odisha. And about 9% of the total tribal population in India's rural and semi-urban areas comes from Odisha, particularly districts like Keonjhar or Mayurbhanj, which is where Draupadi Murmu comes from. So the first point I'm making is that the tribal vote share of the BJP is going to consolidate in a big way in favor of the Modi-led alliance. Don't forget, in 2019, we had a 65%, yes, that is the number, I did my homework. We had a 65% vote share amongst the tribal community vis-a-vis the other side, as in the combined opposition, what have you, which had a 29% vote share. So if this 69% goes up to 71 or 72%, given the phenomenal results which we saw in Madhya Pradesh, despite a almost 2-decade-old anti-incumbency, at least a perceived one, and getting a 46% vote share in Chhattisgarh with 54 seats. If we have to extrapolate what we did in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh onto Odisha, I think we may not even get just 13, what you're saying. The number could actually be 15 or 16, which means Odisha will be for the BJP in 2024 what Bengal was for us in 2019.
Okay, Nalin, can I just bring you in? On the piece that I wrote this morning, exactly what I was talking about, that the BJP has evolved a superset of various rainbow sort of coalitions. They've taken in the Dalits, they've taken in the EBCs, etc. And who are they hitting most? They're hitting those parties that were estranged from the Congress. And that's the regional sort of parties. And I think that's really what we're seeing.
So the BJP has a multitude of strategies of growth. In the Northeast, has been mergers and acquisitions. In UP and in Hindi heartland, it's been a policy of social engineering, where they've expanded the social umbrella, added a large number of OBCs, particularly non-Yadav OBCs, with the Dalits, particularly non-Yadav Dalits. The tribal footprint of the BJP significantly increased. In several states, whether it's whether it's West Bengal, whether it's Odisha, in several states, in Bengal, for example, it grew by essentially outsiders who came into the party.
That's right. Not just that, 39% of their vote in 2019 was from the communist parties.
Absolutely. So essentially, in these states, the BJP also grew as the anti-establishment party, right? The party of
and let's not forget,
and that's true for Telangana too in the past. But the problem for the BJP has been that in the states where it has expanded, it's gone 2 steps forward and then 1 step backwards. So Odisha is a state where it's consistently been becoming the number 2 party. And if these poll numbers hold up, it's an exact reversal of what happened last time.
Can I just quickly bring in Sanju? I wanted to ask her the big question that's coming to everybody's mind, Sanju, after these numbers. These are, of course, Lok Sabha projections. But your thoughts on the assembly, because Odisha is one of those states that goes to polls together with the Lok Sabha. So if you are saying that these numbers are even shorter to your expectations, give us a sneak peek of what you think about assembly elections in Odisha.
When it comes to assembly elections, I have to make one very pertinent point. If you remember, just prior to the Chhattisgarh assembly elections, we made, barely 1 year back, we made Arun Sao the party president in Chhattisgarh. He is obviously now the deputy CM. And we have effected a change within the organization in Odisha also. Earlier, the BJP president in Odisha was Samir Mahanti. But now, we have a gentleman called Manmohan Samal. And I tell people Manmohan Samal is the Annamalai version, for the BJP in Odisha. He has excellent grassroots connection. He's young for a politician at 64. And he's somebody who also halted, the re-election of Suryavanshi Suraj from Dhamragar in 2009. And that is when he rose to fame. So I think when it comes to new states, where earlier the contest was between, say, the BJP and, maybe a Congress or any other party from the other side. But now the binary has shifted to BJP versus BJD. In Chhattisgarh, BJP versus Congress. In Telangana, BJP versus Congress when it comes to Lok Sabha. The BRS obviously is a factor only in the assembly election. So I think that the organizational restructuring with Manmohan Samal at the helm of affairs is what is going to do the magic for us in the assembly elections and the Lok Sabha elections as well.
Well, the last time around, the story was a little different, but larger picture, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to remember this. 363 seats out of 543 that have been declared, 180 seats still to go. The more important part is the BJP and the NDA going to return a better number than 2019? Is it going to fall short of the expectations or the benchmark set by the captain of the ship, that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with respect to 400 par for the NDA and 370 par for the BJP? And if yes, then by how much? Because falling short is all right, but if they are doing better than 2019, then the opposition has some serious worries. 180 seats, of which we counted 90 from two states, that is Maharashtra and Bengal. Add to that the state of Andhra Pradesh, and we go more than 100 seats. More than 100 seats, 115 seats actually, if you were to see, from states where the BJP will be a little worried, because there is a tussle, there is a regional satrap, there has been mixes, and you've stitched alliances. As of now, do you see the BJP and the NDA comfortably positioned to do better than 2019? Quickly doing this, Javed ji, starting with you. Or where do you think is the problem?
Look, that's the million-dollar question. Will they not just do better than 2019, but will they get to 370? We can quibble about the numbers, but there's no sane person will bet against the BJP winning this election.
INDI alliance is at
71.
Does that worry you?
Just because the Prime Minister has said 370 as a benchmark.
He's winning. Let's look at the opposition.
Yes,
10 years in power. And you have no signs of income.
But this is what happened in Bengal too, right? They did very well in Bengal, but not what they projected.
No, but that's
so it almost became
this
a
is
loss.
not a losing cause, Shivani. This is a winning cause. I mean, right now, the BJP is probably short of, individually, of 272 by what? About a dozen seats?
No.
See, it's not about the other question, the flip side of this. Congress less than 40, if the India alliance is at 71 right now. Is that a worry? Less than 50 seats for the Congress party. That means there is no solid opposition in Parliament.
Assuming that they get 70, even then what kind of an opposition will that be? If the BJP is getting 370 or plus 370 or thereabouts,
more of the
what
same.
kind of
Is that a statement of the BJP's performance or the opposition's non-performance? Largely absent from this conversation so far. We will try and get him in. But yes, Nistula, you're saying something.
See, I wanted to answer the question that you had put the first time to Javed ji about where will they hit it out of the ballpark the way Prime Minister wants. I would like to kind of quote back what Amit Shah had told me in the 2019 election when he was party president and I had interviewed him. And he said, wherever you're looking for an election, that is not where the election's at. I had chosen some 113 seats where we've never won or we've come second, and I worked hard. He said, you were there with me in Telangana. I said, yes, the first time that you started from Nalgonda. He said, you'll see the election is there. And they actually won nearly 80 out of those 113 vulnerable seats that he had identified, which is why their tally went up.
Yes.
So now, the 370 has to come from places where they have not maxed out.
Where?
So the states you should be looking at is West Bengal, Odisha,
Maharashtra?
and no, Maharashtra they had maxed out, but Maharashtra is in trouble now because it's an election which is from
Maharashtra, they have
ground
not
zero.
maxed out because Maharashtra, they maxed out when they were in conjunction with the Shiv Sena.
Right, but
Now
this
they
is
have not
also an
maxed.
election like no
Maharashtra,
other
the
for
BJP out of
Maharashtra. They've
48
never had
contested only
6 parties in
25
the
last
frame.
time. This time around, are they going to contest 30? And what will be the wins in this new Samikaran? Those 48 are very crucial.
So those are the states that you need to
And
win.
of course, Bengal. Of
Even
course,
without
Bengal.
Maharashtra, Anand, the BJP is about 12 short. I mean, let's put this in perspective. When was the last time a Prime Minister came back for the third time consecutively? Nehru.
Nehru, yeah.
If,
I mean, where is the
fact of the
debate
matter
here?
is,
No, that is
with
not
this
the
election
debate.
result, if this election, and as Javed said, no sane person would kind of bet against this result. The only question is, what
How
is the
much,
margin,
yeah.
right? Whether it's 300 or 370, you know, what's
310 or 370 ke beech mein
that
lad
is the
rahe hain.
debate,
That's
right?
the fight.
No, the quality of the victory is the debate. Now, listen
Right.
to this statistic
So,
which
but
I
the
began
point
by
I'm
saying.
trying to
Nalin,
make,
listen to
Rahul-
this. BJP won
Yeah.
224
Third-
seats with 50% plus vote share in 2019, 88 more than 2014. If it wins another 50 of these, 88, you see where the number is going to be.
Correct.
Rahul,
It's
fact
not
of
just
matter is-
the quality
fact
of the
matter
victory.
is that after 2 terms, if you win a victory like this,
Yes.
the Prime Minister Modi, after 3 terms, will end up as the Prime Minister who's had the largest number of years as Prime Minister after Nehru. Nehru
Right.
ended at 16
Right,
years
right.
plus.
And
an
Shivani
upper
Gandhi
house.
at 15 years,
And
but
an
only
upper
11
house.
of them were contiguous.
And Nalin, an upper house where the numbers will dramatically change
Yeah.
because guess who's losing
So,
out?
so
People
that
like
is why the
quickly,
first 100
BRS,
days after Lok Sabha
BJP,
2024
and I
results,
want to
May
make a deeper point
2024,
here. The deeper
will
point
be
I
very
want to make
interesting.
here.
Yes,
Very
quickly,
quickly,
Shivani,
just
yeah.
wanted to add because Sanju Verma made that point about the tribal population in Odisha. So this is the chart from 2019 Lok Sabha elections. These are tribal dominated seats, 6 of them out of the 21. The BJP had actually won half of them. They have a vote share about 34, BJD 2 and Congress was 1. So this time around it will be interesting to see if the factor she says is one of the big factors in Odisha and the popularity because of, you know, the tribal president and things like that, then they should
I
be
think
sweeping
the
these
popularity
seats.
that will translate in terms of whatever breakups and you were saying is the Labharti factor. The benefits accruing because of the schemes, the welfare schemes reaching right down to the grassroots. The numbers have been put out by Rahul Shivshankar, Nalin Mehta, BJP spokespersons and largely by the people who have benefited. If they come back and pay him back, saying thank you for doing what you have done for us, then these numbers should hold or if not get better. And then the larger question is it these subgroupings that we should look at? Or should we look at it all in a combined to say this is welfare for all and that's why the person who's provided that welfare wins it all, ladies and gentlemen. Going to take a short break. The halfway mark 272 has been breached. The 3 states that are very important that account for nearly 115 of 180 seats remaining. Coming up next, one of the critical states is Andhra Pradesh, but that rocket of the NDA is flying, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the Andhra numbers. Back on, ladies and gentlemen, with the News 18 mega opinion poll. We've got to tell you, this is a mega opinion poll. The News 18 poll hub has gone to 518 Lok Sabha constituencies and got you the details. We will also extrapolate the balance 25 seats and give you the final projections. But these are opinion polls. And if we get it right, we'll take the credit. If we don't, then blame the News 18 poll hub. But that's in jest. This is just an indication, ladies and gentlemen. This poll was conducted in February 2024. The elections are going to be, or the polls are going to be between April and May 2024. A lot can change. Lot of momentum can be gained by the NDA and the BJP, or perhaps there can be a shift towards the INDIA and the opposition. We have to wait and watch. But right now, this is the biggest testament or perhaps sampling of the Janta ke Man ki Baat. Bharat ki Janta ke Man ki Baat. It's perhaps the biggest sampling that can be done. 1,18,000 plus respondents, 218 respondents for every Lok Sabha constituency. For every Lok Sabha seat, at least 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies have been polled or have been surveyed. And these Vidhan Sabha constituencies have been picked up by a random sampling. We are proud of this effort because it's a gargantuan effort. Preceding this 1,18,000, there was a sampling of 3.5 lakh, which was done in November. So before and after Ramlala, a lot of impacts have happened. 2023 to 2024, in a span of 2-3 months, a lot has happened. And even this today, day 2, as we come to 16 states so far, day 1, 9 states, so far 7 states in this continuous broadcast here at CNN News 18 and across the News 18 network. The next number to be shown is another state of the South. The only state of the South that remains, and that is Andhra Pradesh. So far, the NDA is right at the halfway mark. What happens with Andhra Pradesh? Let's understand. What are the numbers? YSRCP 7 seats out of 25. The NDA now with TDP and Pawan Kalyan's Jana Sena coming together with the BJP, 18 seats. No seat for the Congress party in Andhra Pradesh. No seat for the Congress or the INDI alliance in Andhra Pradesh. It's between the NDA and YSRCP, and this coming together of the BJP, Chandrababu Naidu's TDP and Pawan Kalyan's Jana Sena is translating into a 50% vote share for the NDA, 9% more than the YSRCP. And if it's a straight race it's a 2-horse race, the first to get past 50% vote share invariably takes most of the seats. And that's what we are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, that 18 out of the 25 are going to the NDA. Rahul Shivshankar, yes,
so
no, possible.
The magic of 2014 recreated.
Yes.
Except at that time, of course, the Jana Sena was a little outside of the alliance, giving it tacit support. At that time, it was BJP and TDP. So that's come together. But what this shows, worryingly for Jagan, is that his Dalit vote bank has left him. If you look at Jagan's cabinet, for example, it's very interesting. 66% of the cabinet berths were given to SC, STs, a little proportion of that to OBCs, and of course, you had the minorities. And that's the key, the retention of that. And that
we have to say, Rahul,
happening.
that Andhra is also voting simultaneously. Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha simultaneously, but Lok Sabha, the picture last time around, Shivani,
you
was
know, interestingly, last time is the only comparison we can make, because 2014 Lok Sabha elections were undivided Andhra Pradesh. It was after those general elections that Andhra Pradesh and Telangana were divided. So these are 2019 results. This is the only result we can go for. And look at the reversal that is taking place. So YSRCP is losing 15 and coming down to 7 according to our opinion poll. The NDA, which is the alliance of the TDP and the Pawan Kalyan and the BJP, which was not the case in 2019, is actually going up by 15 to 18. Very quickly, just want to show you that the NDA numbers that you see 3, these yellow seats, is actually all TDP. The BJP did not win anything in 2014.
So the TDP was brought down and it was shown its place, and Chandrababu Naidu was given a nice rap on the knuckles. He made the wrong call. Have they learned that? Have they learned their lessons? We'll have to wait and watch, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, quickly, before we go back to our guests and get them to think about and dwell upon Andhra Pradesh, we have to do one more state. Let's look at the state of Jharkhand. Let's try and understand how Jharkhand is going to score. This time around in the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, Jharkhand will be accounting for 14 Lok Sabha seats. In Jharkhand, the NDA taking 12. NDA taking 12, INDI Alliance 2. That means the NDA is 300 par, 302. 302 out of 18 states and 302 for the NDA with 12 seats from Jharkhand. 272 plus 18 plus 12 and they are par 300. They are at 302 seats, the NDA overall. Jharkhand 14 seats, the NDA getting 58% vote share. INDIA 32% vote share, others taking 10%. So clearly the BJP stealing a march, going up to about 60% vote share, ladies and gentlemen. And if you look at the overall score, it is already 300 par for the NDA. Big gains for the NDA, comfortably placed at this point. We've taken 25 seats of Andhra Pradesh, 14 seats of Jharkhand. So 39 seats have been added to the previous tally of 331. We'll put out the overall score, the total number of seats out of 543. We still have some big states to go. We still have more than 100 seats to account for. But these seats, what they are doing, ladies and gentlemen, are taking the NDA to the 302 score of the BJP already. 300 par to ho gaye. 400 par honge ki nahi is the big question. Let's look at it. How does it stand out right now? As we open it up for our viewers, there you go, drop down and here it opens. The entire arc, and this is the halfway mark of 272, 302, 402 out of 543 seats. And out of those 402, 302 are with the NDA, way past the halfway mark, comfortable. The India Alliance at 73, struggling to get to the 100 number. 27 others. That grouping is also getting sizable and it's getting bigger. Worry for the INDI Alliance that this sizing is also getting thicker. Which way will that lean? Could depend. But does it matter for this grouping? 302 already, 402 out of 543 seats. So 101 seats to go. What's going to be the score? That's going to be very important. 141 seats, beg your pardon. 141 seats to go. Let's go across to our guests. These numbers, do they surprise you? Tehseen Poonawala, he's going very fast on the computer. किसी भी तरह से इसको नंबर को घुमा नहीं सकते, sir. ये तो पार हो गया.
Total reversal.
Anand, again, I have a lot of respect, but if elections were won on numbers like these, and why even have elections? This afternoon I was on another channel, just slightly diverting, where the anchor kept interrupting me and said, oh, but how, we can't spend so much money on elections. So I told him very politely, election nahi kyun karate, WhatsApp pe kara do, or we know who can be Prime Minister. See, I'm in opposition. I don't support the BJP. It is my duty to find faults. I still stand to my gun. Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana and even Andhra, these numbers don't add up. I respect your poll. I think they don't add up. I think the Karnataka, the BJP won't get as much as it will. I don't think it's getting that in Telangana. I think your numbers are flipped in Telangana. They're definitely not getting in Tamil Nadu. I can't see how they get it. And even in Andhra, I think you have a little bit of surprise. I'm not saying Congress is winning Andhra Pradesh. I'm not going to say that. Though Prashant Kishore said that Congress is winning Andhra Pradesh in the state assembly. But these numbers simply don't add up. The maths doesn't add up. The chemistry doesn't add up.
Sir, this is 218 respondents.
Because there has been
218 respondents. Javed Ansari and Nalin Mehta want to say something.
These three players. So it does add up.
You can quibble about the numbers, but the larger picture is that the BJP is winning and winning well. I have my doubts as far as Kerala, as far as Tamil Nadu, as far as Telangana are concerned. But that's...
But in Andhra Pradesh, Javed sir, you agree with the numbers, with the TDP coming back, with the BJP and
yes,
all?
it has given them a distinct edge. But the question is what happens to Jagan? I mean, what wrong did he do? For 5 years, he helped this government, went out of his way, and now suddenly he's been left high and dry. So what does it say? I mean, for the how the BJP treats its allies?
The debaters to your left and right, yes.
It's not a question of how the BJP treats its allies. The BJP cannot ally with Jagan Mohan Reddy. There's a large swath of people in the Sangh Parivar who will not condone this thing due to religious reasons and the kind of politics that BJP plays in that state. They can take their support in the legislative matters in Rajya Sabha, etc. But they have definite issues with Jagan Mohan Reddy. Having said that, Naidu has said all sorts of things about Prime Minister Modi when he left in 2018. What he found out very quickly was that the Congress's vote bank and his Kamma vote bank are mutually antithetical. They can never, ever, ever vote together. He got out of that, got into all sorts of, legal trouble. His party workers were being beaten and, his party offices were being attacked. And I remember he gave me an interview in 2021 where for the first time he said on record saying that I want to get back into the NDA. At that time I had spoken to somebody in the BJP very high up who had said that this is a call that will be taken closer to the election if we see that we have something to gain from it. So now after Naidu's arrest, there is a feeling that he might be getting some sympathy votes in Andhra Pradesh, and that Kamma vote bank, even if it's not even if Naidu is not in a position to fully get them, they're not coming to the BJP. So whatever they have to get, they have to get it to Naidu.
And the Reddys. Kamma, Kapu and the Reddys. So,
yes.
And the Dalits, of course, which are a very, very significant part
but
of
I have an issue with the numbers,
though. But just one second. It's very interesting because, I think, Javed Bhai, you made the point that what is Jagan done wrong to deserve this? Now, just ask his sister. She is the known unknown here. She has gone in with the Congress. Remember that her deciding to sort of keep out of the poll fray in Telangana helped the Congress. So she has, at least in the neighboring states, some influence. We don't know how that is going to play out for the Congress in Andhra Pradesh. But fundamentally, we constantly beat Mr. Modi on the head. Now, I'm not trying to be some sort of a cheerleader, etc., etc. I'm just looking at some records. On this issue of squeezing the opposition out through all sorts of, cases, etc. You just look at what has been happening in Andhra Pradesh for a while now. And you just have to ask, in fact, what Nistura is saying is not wrong. A large number of people there have been building this campaign on the line that there is a tyrant sitting in the Vidhan Sabha. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. It might be sticking. And of course, look, there are castes at play. The reason the BJP went back to both the TDP or whoever came back and signed up this alliance is for a caste reason. And you have to then begin to ask.
Sir, in Andhra Pradesh, there is a 23% Kapu community which has no representation, has not been spoken to yet. So, but the Kamma is everybody is in the mix there.
And I want to make a point here. What we can quibble over the exactitude of the numbers and so on, and this is a poll. Fact of the matter is, the BJP is the hungriest political party in India today. The fact of the matter is that it's maintaining what the numbers are showing, its dominance in its old cold areas. In fact, in the Hindi heartland, with the numbers we saw yesterday, the strike rate seems to be higher than what it was in 2019, which almost seemed impossible. How can you go higher than
from the studio outside to those who are not in studio, quickly, Sanju Verma and Amitabh Tiwari. Yes, Sanju.
I think one thing which, people are not taking cognizance of is the fact that in a state like Andhra Pradesh, while last time it was undivided Andhra, so the comparison may not be absolutely apple to apple. Each time you cross a vote share of 48 or 49% and you're giving the NDA 50%, by that logic, we are not going to be curtailed at 18 alone, and you're giving Jagan Mohan Reddy's party 7 seats. If we are going to cross 49% vote share, then BJP is going to romp home. I mean, the NDA is going to romp home with at least 23 or 24 seats, because there are some states, be it a Gujarat, be it a Haryana, be it Andhra Pradesh or Jharkhand. Once you cross that 49-50% mark, then you take everything that is up for the asking. That is my point number one. And my point number two is, Tehseen made a point that, he doesn't believe in the BJP tally when it comes to Karnataka, Telangana, what have you. As he said, he is duty bound to defend the Congress. But let me say one thing. In Telangana, in Lok Sabha 2019, our vote share was sub 20%, Rahul. Despite a sub 20% vote share, we managed to get 4 seats. And the Congress had a vote share of almost 30% and they were still curtailed at 2 seats. So I go back to my most famous argument, which I repeat, again and again whenever I'm on these kind of number crunching shows. The Congress's Achilles heel is basically the inability to translate vote share into winnable seats. And please understand, I will end in 10 seconds. Last time, even if you look at the 2019 Jharkhand Lok Sabha elections, BJP had a 56% vote share and we got 12 seats. The Congress had almost a 35% vote share, but they still managed only 2 seats. With a 35% vote share, you're getting only 2 seats, which means you're not able to convert your vote share into votes, and that is where the BJP and NDA is going to score big time again in 2024.
The big takeaway, and I want to bounce this back off everyone here. The big takeaway is that the BJP seems to be expanding in regions where it wasn't really a presence, and I think, Naren, what do you make of that?
If I can ask, if you can bring in Amitabh Tiwari and then bring it back into the studio. Amitabh Tiwari, how much of this is the Labharti factor? How much of this is getting old friends becoming, allies again, old allies becoming friends again? How much of it is that?
See, it's a combination of both. Both plus the leadership factor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Beneficiaries are turning up in larger numbers to vote for the BJP election after election, and of course the southern territory was a tricky territory for the BJP, and they have, or rather TDP has made a ghar wapsi of sorts into the NDA. If you see the Andhra numbers, YSRCP is primarily getting damaged by the Congress party. Congress party, because of the reinduction of, or rather the induction of Sharmila, is gaining 5% vote share from 1% to 6%. And this is the vote share, the SC, ST and OBC vote share, which Congress is pulling. So Congress is damaging YSRCP here, and also the fact that YSRCP has adopted a pro-NDA stance seems to have also angered its SC, ST and minority vote bank.
Amitabh, can I just come in here?
There has always been a...
Very quickly, I want to understand from you, like if we were to talk about how the BJP is expanding, just shooting off from what Rahul was trying to make, the point that he was trying to make, if we were to say that the BJP is actually expanding in areas where they didn't have seats or that much vote share, how much of these 18 seats that we are projecting are coming to the BJP or the TDP, we don't quite know. Now, TDP has always been the bigger player in Andhra Pradesh. Even this time around, they're contesting 17 seats and BJP is only contesting 6 seats. What is the fortunes of the BJP you see as far as seats are concerned? They won 2 in 2014. Mind you, that was undivided Andhra Pradesh, where the TDP and the BJP again did well over YSRCP. But of course, we know what happened last time around. So, is the BJP winning seats in Andhra Pradesh?
No, see, it is winning seats in Andhra Pradesh because of the alliance with TDP. However, it is there for a long-term gain, because it sees that Chandrababu Naidu is perhaps in his last election and his son is perhaps not enjoys the same charisma as many other sons of regional parties, politicians do. And that is where the BJP sees an opening in Andhra Pradesh, trying to or attempting to co-opt TDP and its voters in a longer term basis.
Well, so that's the long-term strategy. Yes, let's bring it back into the studio. BJP expanding its footprint, and what's the factors? What are the factors?
They've been trying to expand their footprint into Andhra a long time. They've got a Kapu state president, that didn't work. They tried to get in with the Kamma votes, saying that look, your guy is en route to his sunset. You better align with us. And there are a lot of photo ops that Amit Shah also had with a lot of these big Kamma people in the Kamma ecosystem. That hasn't worked. I think for this election, certainly they have decided to swallow their pride and said, okay, we will get in again through these people once more with feeling. And this time, they will again try to cannibalize.
But the reality in Andhra politics, Rahul, is the fact that TDP is not going to let this go. BJP thinks it can cannibalize and piggy bank on the TDP. TDP will now, for the next 5 years, try and use whatever they grew out of this alliance to claw their way back into the regional politics. And that we'll see the Vidhan Sabha results.
Exactly. I was just coming to that. That we'll know, of course, in the Vidhan Sabha elections. But just look at the way, if this result begins to hold, Nalin, just look at the way politics is changing if this comes true in two months. You have the BJP in ascendancy in the Lok Sabha. You have then all these opposition parties that could at least pose some sort of a challenge to the BJP in legislation in the Rajya Sabha disappearing. You have the NDA now getting close to a majority, perhaps even a majority in the Rajya Sabha. This makes it Well, I'm saying this will
No, that's true.
consolidate.
No,
And
at a
it
larger
changes-
level, if the 2019 mandate was a pro-incumbency mandate for Narendra Modi, the 2024 mandate, if these numbers hold, is fundamentally going to cement the complete change in the polity that Narendra Modi has heralded. The centre has moved significantly to the right. What was unthinkable earlier, what was unsayable earlier is at the centre of the political discourse. Look at what has happened with the Ram temple. Now, so there is a cultural and a deeper political matrix
there is a
shift in this.
conservatism taking place, taking root in Indian politics. But the fundamental thing,
I would argue is not even conservative. I would argue that how Mr. Modi has kind of positioned it is as a civilizational repositioning.
Okay.
So but the other point I want to make is that you are also entering a new era where a lot of the certitudes of many of the state politics, those are changing, because most of the satraps who were in power, they are at the end of their political careers.
Exactly.
So over the next 5, 6, 10 years, who's going to replace them? Which are the political forces
mode,
replace them?
sunset
BJP
mode
seems
for
to be the
some
one
of
that's
them.
getting in.
But quickly, 2 minutes here before we got to take a break. Let's reflect on Jharkhand.
Jharkhand, the numbers are the same as last time around as far as the seats are concerned, but there's a 3% vote share bump for the BJP.
Vote share bump for the BJP. Tehseen Poonawalla, would you like to say something about Jharkhand? What's happening there? Congress is supposed to be
Just agree with that.
there in power in alliance with the Sorens, right?
No, the Jharkhand numbers, I will not comment too much on. The Hindi heartland and
Anand, you need to capture this moment.
I got
It's
to
all
be
being
fair.
captured.
The
It's
Hindi
live
heartland,
broadcast
the
everywhere.
Hindi heartland is where, and again the north and the east is where the BJP is strong. So you can't.
why?
You can't. I think what the BJP has managed to do is not just hold its grounds, as your data rightly showed yesterday. Their strike rate is better than what it was in 2019. And I keep telling this to Congress supporters in
why?
particular.
Yes.
I'll
The kind
just
of
come
work
to
they've
that.
done
I keep
amongst
telling
Adivasis
Congress
and
supporters
tribals.
that while I don't believe in this election, these are the states where the BJP is going to gain, it does not mean it won't gain in the next 10 years. In my lifetime, 15 years ago, who would have thought BJP would be the government in Assam, or would be in government 10 years ago or 12 years ago in Haryana? And here they are, the second largest party in Odisha and West Bengal. So the BJP
Why
is
are they
gaining
winning?
new grounds.
But
The
why are they-
opposition cannot hold on to its
Why are they winning
grounds.
in the north?
I think there's a combination of factors. The combination of factors is the inability primarily of the opposition parties to get the pulse of the voters. You cannot call voters gobar worshippers, cow worshippers, rakshas, gav mutra drinkers. You have to respect it. If the Congress hypothetically...
So there's no work involved. It's only because of the fact that there's a backlash.
I know, I'm talking from the opposition point of view.
Yeah,
There
no, I
will
know,
be some
but
work that the government does. No, not
some
all
work.
government is
Okay,
bad.
even if
not
it has
all
done
government
some
is
work,
bad,
which it
but
is
there is a lot of,
recognized
just since you brought it up, but against that some work, there's a lot of suffering that this government has brought upon to people in the north
we've
and
got
in
we've
India.
got to take a break
the
here on
the-
television, but we will try and see if we can cast the argument even into the break on our YouTube feed, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a heated one, and there are 3 people sitting there who have written down how the indices, social indices of the people, especially in the Bimaru states, in the rural areas, across the length and breadth of the country, but largely in North India, have gone up in the last 10 years, ladies and gentlemen, which had not happened in the previous times of the opposition. Is that a reflection why these numbers are favoring the Prime Minister-led BJP? That's the big question. When we come back after the break, ladies and gentlemen, it's yet another big state. It's yet another big state that we're going to talk about. As of now, the rocket is flying past the 300 number for the BJP. We've got you Jharkhand, we've got you Andhra Pradesh. When we come back, there are 2-3 big states that are left. They will hog the conversation all along, and that includes the state of Bengal. Stay with us. Back on, ladies and gentlemen, on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, and we've just got a few more states to go. It's 302 and still counting for the NDA out of a total of 402 seats that we've declared so far out of 543. The News 18 Mega Opinion Poll went to 518 Lok Sabha constituencies. So the remaining 25, we will extrapolate based on the trends and we'll give you the final numbers. But we're going to make a slight departure. Before we set up the next state, the conversation point politically throughout the country today is the CAA, the rules notification to the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Union Home Minister Amit Shah sat down and spoke to ANI and cleared the air while taking the opposition to task on what he alleged is open, brazen misinformation and vote bank politics. Listen it.
इस देश के अल्पसंख्यक माइनॉरिटीज या तो किसी और व्यक्ति को डरने की जरूरत नहीं है क्योंकि सीएए में किसी की नागरिकता लेने का प्रावधान ही नहीं है। सीएए का कानून कभी वापस नहीं जाएगा और भारत की नागरिकता सुनिश्चित करना ये भारत का विषय है, भारत की संप्रभुता का निर्णय है। इसके साथ हम कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकते। जब विभाजन हुआ तब पाकिस्तान में 23% हिंदू थे, हिंदू और सिख थे। आज 3.7% बच गए। कहाँ गए सारे? इतने सारे तो यहाँ आए नहीं।
धर्म परिवर्तन
हुआ, अपमानित किया गया, दोयम दर्जे के नागरिक के नाते इनको रखा गया। कहाँ जाएंगे ये लोग?
It's about giving citizenship who came, who fled the neighborhood post-partition and they continue to flee because of persecution. They are persecuted minorities and they have nowhere else to go but come to Bharat. It is about giving them citizenship. They were here in Bharat on or before the 31st of December 2014. What's the problem? Here's what he had to say about some of the opposition leaders and the voices and what they have been saying. This includes Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal.
ममता जी को शरणार्थी और घुसपैठिए दो शब्द के बीच का अंतर ही मालूम नहीं है। दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अपने भ्रष्टाचार के उजागर होने से अपना आपा खो बैठे हैं। 2014 तक जो आ गए इनको नागरिकता देनी है और इतनी ही चिंता है तो वो क्यों बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठियों की बात नहीं करते हैं? रोहिंग्यास का विरोध क्यों नहीं करते हैं? इस विषय पर राहुल जी से एक बार चर्चा करके डिटेल पूछ लो। कमरे में बैठकर आपको इंटरव्यू करे सीएए पर और समझाएं, जो वो बोल रहे हैं वो इतना समझा दे जनता को।
So, we've got Smita Prakash of ANI with us, Nalin Mehta with us in the studio. We should have our guest joining us very, very soon. Dr. Anand Ranganathan should be with us, Priyanka Tibrewal, Professor Manojit Mandal, Swapan Das Gupta. Everybody will be joining us. But let's ask the person who conducted the interview. Did he convince you, Smita Prakash?
Convince me, I guess, as a journo, I'm always skeptical, not too sure about what a politician says. But yeah, I mean, I did feel that even the last time that there were these there was a lot of misinformation. There was and the messaging was not on time as far as the BJP is concerned. So as a result of that, we saw these street protests happening. Whether it was deliberately fueled by political parties, what it achieved. But this time it seems like the BJP is on the front foot. They don't want this disinformation about CAA to go forward. So I think he was pretty convincing in what he said. So I tried to pin him down whether, you know, on what all the allegations are from Mamata Banerjee, from Arvind Kejriwal, from Rahul Gandhi, from Owaisi, all of them. And he had a reply to all of them. He didn't fudge his answers.
He didn't fudge his answers. Zaka Jacob on the magic wall, is that going to impact Bengal is the question in the next 10 minutes, actually 11 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put out the Bengal numbers here on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Rahul Shivshankar, Nalin Mehta with us, but Priyanka Tibrewal and Professor Manojit Mandal also with us. Namaste and Jai Hind. Professor Manojit Mandal, what's the problem with giving citizenship to people who are here in Bharat already, and that too almost 10 years ago? If not more.
What is the procedure? what is the procedure, Mr. Anand Narsiman? The procedure is to, you treat them first as Indian or refugee or persecuted, and then you give them citizenship. I think you have read the procedure laid down in these rules. And this is something that nobody can accept. The people of Assam, 12 lakhs Hindus, how are you going to convince them about the fact that they are not Indian first? Whereas most of them were Indian. I'm talking about the people who are now termed as D-voter. Forget about any other state. I would ask you and your team to go to Assam and convince the people who are languishing in the detention camps or termed as D-voters, 12 lakh Hindus, forget about the other Hindus, convince them that prove that you are persecuted. You came prior to 1971, many of them might have lost their documents, and now they need to prove themselves as persecuted. Bangladeshi, once again, they will lose their Aadhaar card, they lose their voter identity card, they lose their ration card, and then they would say that they are Bangladeshi citizens to apply for Indian citizenship. I am challenging this government through you to go to Assam and convince these 12 lakh Hindus that please apply for Indian citizenship through this law. If this happens, I will withdraw my words.
Well,
Professor Mondal, forget about CAA, whether it happens, not happens. We conducted this poll and we're going to reveal the Bengal numbers in about 5-7 minutes from now. This poll was conducted. Once again, hear me out. This poll was conducted before the notification of CAA, and the numbers, when we reveal it in about 7 or 8 minutes from now, will absolutely befuddle you, because this is something that is going to make you sit up and take notice without the CAA. Like I said, this whole survey happened in January and February when there was no question of notification of CAA. Without the notification of CAA, the numbers in itself will be so staggering that you will have to, you'll have to find some explanation for it. But anyway, we'll do another survey in March and April and figure out the impact
The
of
other
CAA.
aspect is Priyanka Tibrewal, Manojit Mandal is saying 17 lakh Hindus in detention camps, etc. The BJP largely is saying it's about 30,000 people on or before 31st of December 2014. Where is this whole conversation happening from? Priyanka Tibrewal, please answer. Manojit Mandal.
Listen, whatever Mr. Mandal is saying, everything is in the air. Whatever he is saying, nothing will turn out to be true.
Then what is the truth? Why is there so much of apprehension with CAA 2019 if there is not a big deal about it at all?
Not at all. Now it is very clear on the ground. People are happy. People are celebrating in West Bengal. See, look at the people from Bandgaon. Look at the people from various parts of the Matua Samaj, from various parts in Bengal. They are all celebrating. They are dancing to the tune. They are enjoying, because after so many years, that what was promised to them has come out to be true. And once again, ye Modi ki guarantee thi. Whatever Modi says, Modi does. Unlike the other Congress or the other governments which have been here, and also TMC. See, whatever TMC has said.
PM मोदी की गारंटी तो 2020 में ही पार्लियामेंट द्वारा रेटिफाई हो गई थी. So why March 2024? Nalin Mehta and Rahul Shivshankar. Why wait till March 2024? If it is only about 30,000 people, and how much of a poll impact will it make? Then why wait for such a long time?
The significant part of this has to do with politics. I mean, fundamentally, the CAA is also a political move. There is an ideological positioning behind it, which is at the core of the BJP's positioning to its core audiences. The CAA, when it, you remember the debate around the CAA that happened. There was also an issue in Assam. At that point, there was an issue about the census and all of that. So now, what the BJP is going into the election saying is, we had core promises. There was a Ram temple, we have given you a Ram temple. There was a thing, there was a whole thing of 370, we've removed 370. Uniform Civil Code was one of our other promises. There is already, with triple talaq being removed, some part of it happened. Other states are now doing a Uniform Civil Code of some kind or the other. CAA was another thing which was being talked about, and now we've delivered that.
So explain this
Rahul,
sorry.
The fundamental opposition to CAA is that it's citizenship by religion. How do you counter that?
Well, there are two or three issues. number one, we are not talking about Indian citizens. We are talking about people who live abroad. Article 19, and this has been established by several Supreme Court orders in the past, only and expressly applies to Indian citizens. Indian citizens have the right to move freely and settle anywhere in the country. We are talking about a group of foreigners who we are bringing in. Now, I have some problems with the CA, as I have written in my book also, but the fundamental point here is that all rights are subject to certain reasonable limitations.
Yes.
This whole business of saying, and there are three real oppositions to it, that, oh, you know, why this cut-off date? 2014, December 31st. So if someone comes into the country on the 30th of December, he's okay. But if someone comes in
the 1st of Jan.
Exactly. He doesn't apply for this. So this is a rather bizarre proposition. But so is that with driving. You could be 17 years, 362 days, but you won't get a driving license, would you? So there are reasonable restrictions that are applied. But the fundamental point is it is a political move. There is no doubt about this, Zaka. The
point is, will it stand the test of law?
Right. So here is
that's
the quibble.
The question.
Here is the quibble. You can't have a situation where you might create a reasonable classification. They have been upheld, and you know, I was reading a statement, the United States saying, oh, we're expressing concern.
Yes.
They have two laws on their books which create the same reasonable classification with respect to Iran, where Jews and Christians are persecuted, and it applies only to those two. I feel, if anything, there should be no cutoff.
At all.
At all. If you are wanting to protect people who are trapped there facing all sorts of hideous, tortures and persecution.
The biggest point here is...
I don't understand this December 31st, 2014 cutoff. Number one. Number two.
Okay.
And last point. Number two. What has the Supreme Court been doing for 2.5 years? It's a fundamental question that you need to ask. This particular hearing on this, the next hearing was supposed to happen 2.5 years ago. Why didn't the next hearing take place?
But on that, one second. So, one second. On that, you can, to be fair to the court, you can say that a law is actuated after the rules are notified. The rules were notified, not notified.
But then
you can make the same argument against the central government. What were they doing for 4 years?
4 years,
they didn't do anything.
No, 1 second. But why would then the court go into this issue at all? Frame the issues, have arguments, etc.
Because a petition was moved before the court. Anyway, Nalan,
one of the whole debates on CA, CA does not apply to Indian Muslims. It applies to those who are coming from the outside. And the state of and the Indian state is making a distinction between, yes, it is making a distinction between Hindus who are coming in and those from other nationalities. But that's the right of the Indian state. It does not affect Indian Muslims who are in
We are
India.
missing one big point, gentlemen and the lady, and I'm going to come back to Smita Prakash on this. This is a residue of partition.
Yeah.
The residue of partition impacted 4 countries today. As of partition impacted 4 countries as on today: Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bharat, and Bangladesh. Why? Because the persecuted Hindus or persecuted non-Muslims from Pakistan fled, either came towards Bharat, moved to Jammu, Punjab, and this region, or those who are on the far eastern side, the western side, they fled to Afghanistan. The Sikhs largely fled to Afghanistan, and that's why Afghanistan has been added. And this residue is on for more than 7.5 decades now. Here in eastern Pakistan, that was split into Bangladesh, and it became Bangladesh. We know the number of riots and the amount of persecution that's happened. So where do these people go? Point is, 7.5 decades down the line, to put a capping of 31st December 2014, how is that fair? Secondly, please, did you ask him this? Is it being read in conjunction with NRC?
NRC, he says, is not on the table right now. CCAA, the way it is, minus NRC, that is not up for discussion right now. As far as the CA is concerned, whether it is fair or not, the point is that even a Muslim can apply. It's not as if Muslims are excluded. This is just fast tracking of those who had been persecuted because of religious issues. I did ask him about Shias, Baloch and the Ahmadiyas who are persecuted in Pakistan. What about them? The point is that what he says is, and that is the BJP's point of view, that if they are persecuted, then admit it. Firstly, it's not documented enough that they have faced persecution. But if they say that they were persecuted, they can apply again. They can apply for asylum out here. There are various categories. This is just to expedite it. It's not as if, and believe me, 2014 date, the whole thing, they have been living here. There are many of them who are into politics, who are in very important positions of power. When I got to know about the names, I was befuddled that nobody has actually reported on this, that they have been occupying, they have their ration card, they have their voter ID card, they have everything. So what are we talking about?
So we are talking about the fact that whether this aspect is going to impact the Bengal elections, even as Swapan Das Gupta ji joins us here into the studios. Ladies and gentlemen, as Zaka Jacob said, this survey, the News 18 mega opinion poll, was conducted before the CAA rule notifications happened. Bengal, let's look at the seat projections and then we'll go to Swapan Das Gupta and ask him that, Swapan ji, if this is the projection, seat share projection before CAA rule notification, what is going to happen now? Ladies and gentlemen, 42 seats in Bengal. It's up to 25 seats for the BJP. Trinamool Congress slips from 17 to 22. The BJP jumps from 18 to 25. From 22 to 17 and 18 to 25. That's the up and the down between the Trinamool Congress and the BJP. Big jump there. Nothing for the left, nothing for the Congress party. It is between the Trinamool and the BJP. It's a straight fight. Similar vote share, 42% each. Congress Plus or the India Alliance gets 14%. The others are at 2%. It's a sweep in big terms for the BJP. If they are going to jump up, they're going to jump up 7 seats from last time around to 25 seats. And the Trinamool Congress slipping from 22 last time to just about 17. Swapan Das ji, how do you see these numbers? Welcome to the CNN News 18 studios. Good to have you with us here.
Thank you. I think they are very much in line with the national trends. You know, Bengal has always been a little different it's been a bit contrarian in a lot of ways. I think in 2019 we saw the trends in Bengal more or less converge somewhat with the national trends. And I think that trend is again now manifesting itself. Whether the CAA is going to have a tremendous impact on this, I don't know. What the CAA will do is it will consolidate a lot of the minority votes behind the Trinamool Congress. Whether the BJP succeeds in getting a corresponding degree of Hindu consolidation, if that happens, then I think 25 might go up to 27, 28.
27, 28.
It could go up, but that's a hypothetical situation, and we're talking about the CAA effect.
Yeah, if this happens, the fact that the BJP has more number of seats in the Lok Sabha than the TMC, this would be a seminal moment in Bengal politics. This would be comparable to what happened back in 2011. There was a change of regime, as it were, in 2011. This would signify a change, not necessarily a change of regime, but a seminal moment nonetheless. I want to bring our viewers up to speed.
Just one thing. If this indeed happens, it will be the first time since about 1967 or 1971 that a national party becomes the leading party of Bengal in parliament. And that's a huge change.
444 out of 543 seats that have been declared before Zaka Jacob works his magic on the magic wall. Just reminding, 99 seats to be projected left. 327 for the NDA. Is it better than the last time around? Gentlemen, if my memory serves me right, they are close to what they did in 2019 as the NDA. 327, 90 for the INDI Alliance, 27 others, 444 out of 543. Bengal, 25 seats. How is that possible?
We have how many more states to reveal? We have 2 more states to reveal.
Yes.
So that's Maharashtra and Gujarat. That's about 60 odd seats. Okay, let's get to Bengal. The region-wise breakup. This is fascinating for me because the southwestern part of Bengal, and look at these numbers. This is where the maximum gains are happening for the BJP. The southwestern part, which is Bankura, Purulia, Jungle Mahal. These are places where the BJP did very well back in 2019. They did lose out just a tad bit in 2021, the assembly election, but it seems like they're racing away in this part of Bengal. They're also doing very well in the northern part, which is Cooch Behar, Alipurdwar, which again, I think they had 5 MPs from the northern belt of Bengal, again doing very well. The Trinamool only 1 MP from North Bengal, whereas the BJP getting 7. In the Kolkata and Greater Kolkata region, the BJP gets none, the TMC gets all 5. And in Southeast, which is North and South 24 Parganas, it's the TMC which still manages to have an edge, but the sweepstakes are evened out a bit. It's 5 to the BJP and 7 to the Trinamool Congress. But really, where the game has completely changed in favor of the BJP, and I want Rahul Shivshankar to weigh in on this, is in the tribal belt, Jungle Mahal, Bankura, Purulia, in the southwestern part of the state, bordering Bihar, many of those districts. Do you see this happening, Rahul Shivshankar? Because if it does, and I say this again, if this happens, if it is BJP 25 and Trinamool Congress 17, then I shudder to think what the Assembly of 2026, the West Bengal Assembly elections of 2026 might portend.
Why would you shudder? It's not as if the heavens would have come down. But nonetheless, let me just come in here. There are 4 states that we've called before this one. 3 of them were tribal-dominated states. Odisha, which is of course on the one side of Bengal. Then you have Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand.
Yeah.
And then you have parts of Andhra and Telangana, of course. So there is a consistent pattern. The tribal vote is moving towards the BJP. Our poll is establishing this. Now, by how much and all of that, one can't say. But there is a definite swing, and therefore the BJP is registering a presence in some of these states. Number 2, very importantly, look at data. There were 21 seats where victory margin was less than the 3rd position candidate votes. Now, why was this? Because the TMC had 43% of the vote, the BJP had 40% of the vote. In Southwest, it lost 6 of these seats by between 3%, 0 and 3%. Maybe, I don't know, those seats have come back. One of those seats, and in the overall number, out of 21, 11 of 21, the TMC led by the slimmest of margins. 8 out of 21, the BJP led by the slimmest of margins. So there can be flux. It's difficult to call this one. There's an equal vote share. But the growth is happening on the BJP side of the fence.
Yeah.
The 42, 43%, in fact, I think the TMC has lost 1% if it's at 42.
Yes.
And the BJP has picked up 2%.
Yeah, and
that tells you that
it's picked up from the left and it's picked up from some of the others. Professor Dinesh Varshney is with us.
Let's talk about
Tibrewal is with us.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come back to Zaka Jacob, as I say, and Manojit Mandal is also with us. Some poor bandwidth with Manojit Mandal. We'll try and sort that out and make up for it. Let's look at 2019. Yes, Zaka.
The vote share, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 2% from 40% to 42%, and the TMC's has slipped by about 1.2% from 43.2 down to 42. But I think, what is fascinating for me, Anand, Rahul, Chopin, is, look, this is the southwestern part of Bengal. The BJP had maximized in these seats last time around. What our poll is suggesting is that they'll get more in the southwestern part. Here in the southeastern part, which is south and north 24 Parganas, you have districts like Nadia, Malda, all of that, all the way up till here. This is where the TMC dominated in the last election. This poll is suggesting that the TMC's dominance in the southeastern part and also in the central eastern part of Bengal will reduce if it turns out that the BJP gets 25 and the TMC gets 17. Of course, the BJP had a big presence in the north of Bengal as well last time around.
Yeah.
That seems to be the case this time around as well. For me, the fascinating thing is that, again, I reiterate, this poll happened before the CAA. These are the parts that border Bangladesh. These are the parts where the TMC has done exceptionally well, not just in the Lok Sabha of 2019, but more in the Assembly of 2021. If we have a poll, Smita.
Mamata Banerjee has sustained a, quote, major injury, says TMC. There's a picture that they have posted on Twitter. She seems to have a head injury. If you want to show the picture. She seems to have had a head injury and she's bleeding in the head and there's some stitch marks on her head. it's their word is that she's had, and it looks pretty bad. The picture, I don't know whether you can zoom
Yeah,
in.
it's an unfortunate turn of events.
Yeah.
She is at the SSKM hospital and she has had some injury there right at the center. It's on her forehead. We are just trying to ensure that the visuals can be a little disturbing as we put it right away. So we'll just put it and treat it a bit and then put it out. But that's the update that's just come. Professor Dinesh Varshney, Priyanka Tibrewal with us, and we also have Manojit Mondal. Now this is an instance, we'll try and connect with Kamalika to try and understand what has happened because they've showed that she has sustained injury, and it's the Trinamool Congress AITMC official handle that has tweeted and said, our chairperson Mamata official sustained a major injury. Please keep her in your prayers. So this is what is the update. We've got the pictures. We'd not put it out on air right now. We just treat it a bit and then put it out. Now that's an unfortunate turn of events, but we'll go back to Kamalika and get an update as to what happened, where it happened in just a bit. Right now, staying back and keeping the focus on the News 18 mega opinion poll at this point, Professor Dinesh Varshney, the left is nowhere in sight. It's a two-way fight between the BJP and the Trinamool right now. Professor Varshney, can you hear me? Well, I don't think Professor Dinesh Varshney can hear. Priyanka Tibrewal, will you take 25 seats? Or do you expect more? You're on mute, Priyanka ji. You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Am I audible now?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes. So my prayers for Mamata Banerjee, and secondly, as I said, that ye dil mange more. And you see this number which you've shown here as 25, this will go till 28 or 29. Now, I do not agree to one more thing which you have said, that we are getting no seats in Kolkata. By the time you were showing this, I received at least 20 messages from people of Kolkata, which is the Kolkata city, and they are saying that we are going to win the North Kolkata seat at this time. And it won't be a big surprise. I'm telling you, please watch it out here, that North Kolkata seat will be won by the BJP this time. Because the kind of corruption which was witnessed everywhere on the ground, you know, all the jails, all the courts are all located in the city. And it is the city who has witnessed everything. And moreover, Sandesh Khali will be a big factor, and overall, to add up, CAA will be commendable change which will be witnessed on the ground.
Right, we'll come back to this in just a bit, just trying to see if we can connect with Kamalika to try and understand what's happened with Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of Bengal. The All India Trinamool Congress just putting out a tweet saying that she is in SSKM hospital. She's been admitted to the hospital. She is injured. She has had a head injury. The images show that she has got an injury to her forehead, and there is a certain level of bleeding, and the pictures show that she is in the hospital bed, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try and connect with Kamalika to try and get an understanding as to what has happened. She is the Chief Minister of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee. We do not know where and how she's got the injury, but right now we are given to understand that she has sustained a major injury and she is in hospital. She is at the SSKM hospital. We'll try and see if we have Kamalika through with her. No, we don't have. Kamalika is through with us on the phone. Yes, Kamalika, what happened? Where did it happen?
See, what we are getting it from our sources, and the party Twitter handle has already tweeted that she got injured. Now, how this injury took place is still not clear. But right now, she is in SSKM Hospital of Kolkata, which is the government hospital, and there is a team of doctors which is looking after her. This is clearly a cut injury which seems to have happened from top in the entire face. So whether she fell down or what led to this injury, that still is not clear. But definitely it's a very grievous injury. That's what we are getting it from the hospital sources. Till now, that's not clear that how she got the injury. But the photo that has come up from the Trinamool Congress and from the hospital sources, we are coming to know that this cut is a very deep cut which has taken place. But how this injury has taken place, that's still not clear.
Right. We will try and we just pray and hope that it's not very serious and she is back up on her feet and up and about soon. It does look like a deep cut there right at the center of the forehead, and there is a certain significant amount of bleeding even as she is at the hospital bed. It looks like this is just before she has been treated and she has been attended to at the SSKM hospital where she is currently. There will be the best team of doctors that will be attending to her. We must remember this is not the first time that she has had an injury when on the campaign trail. Even ahead of the Vidhan Sabha elections, the Bengal polls, she had gotten injured in her foot, and it is the same hospital that she was brought to, and thereafter she campaigned right through on a wheelchair. Here right now she is in the hospital. We will try and go back and get more details from Kamalika as and when we get some clarity. Trinamool Congress just putting out this picture. Let's go back to Priyanka Tibrewal, Professor Manojit Mandal, and back to the News 18 mega opinion poll, which is putting out the numbers of Bengal. And ladies and gentlemen, the big call on Bengal is that it is the BJP that is taking Bengal way ahead of the Trinamool Congress, 25 to 17. Professor Manojit Mandal, your response, 42% vote share each is what the News 18 mega opinion poll is predicting, and this was done before the CAA rule notification.
First of all, my sincere prayer for Mamta Di. I mean, may she get well very soon. The country needs her very badly at this point in time. Everyone knows that, not just Bengal. Coming back to your poll, I have got full respect for the poll, and reminds me badly of what happened just 3 years back. Exactly same kind of predictions were being done, and somewhat Mr. Amit Shah said, "Aapki baar 200 par," and we ultimately knew the result. Even during the exit polls, I think most of the pollsters actually wrote CMs off, and you saw the result.
Votes in 2021. Similar things are going to happen. I was really surprised to know, and I will sort of forgive me for saying this. These opinion polls are most of the areas that you're showing from Jungle Mahal. I come from this region because my native village is still very much there in Jungle Mahal. Jharkhand MP, he has resigned few days back. Bankura MP, who is the Minister of State, he was being growled day in and day after by the BJP people. Vishnupur MP, Soumitra Khan, his former wife is fighting against him, saying that this person is not even seen in Vishnupur for the last 5 years. Purulia MP, not seen in Purulia for the last 5 years. I mean, I repeat, I've got full respect for the opinion poll, but have you taken the real opinion of the people? Or you have, mixture imagination,
Professor Mondal, I would just like to say, you are entitled to your opinion, and respectfully and perfectly, sir, true. What we can say is 518, please hear me out, 518 Lok Sabha constituencies across 21 states of the country, covering nearly 95% of the 543 seats. Each Lok Sabha seat, nearly 218 respondents per Lok Sabha seat, and 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies of each Lok Sabha seat have been covered. Each interview is a personal interview, a computer-aided personal interview, and this has been done. The overall sample size of this survey is 1,18,000 plus. If you would do the math, you would understand that this is perhaps very, very comprehensive, in-depth. Each of the interviews has also been geotagged to ensure that the interviews and the survey happens at the location that is being claimed in the Vidhan Sabha constituency of the Lok Sabha seat. So that's the News 18 mega opinion poll done by News 18 Poll Hub. You may agree, disagree with the words, but the integrity of it, the honesty of it, of the purpose and the effort, well, that's where something where we would like to differ with you.
Anand, he'll see the surprise from 2 to 18 and now from 18 to 28.
15 lakh. Hang on, please, let me speak. Why? You have already won the elections. Why are you jumping in there? Let me speak.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
You have won the election.
Thank you.
What was the question of party?
See, we love your overconfidence. We love your overconfidence where you thought that we were nobody.
I tell you,
if we are nobody,
Okay, let's not make this acrimonious. Let's not. I'll just pull away from Dinesh Varshney, Professor. I'll move away from Manojit Mandal and also Priyanka Tibrewal coming back into the studio. Dr. Anand Ranganathan has also made his way along with Swapan Das Gupta and Smita Prakash and Nalin Mehta. Everybody is busy making notes, trying to look at the projections and busy in their own individual huddle.
Well,
Dr. Ranganathan, why is your pad empty?
The electoral bonds list is also out. So while you're doing this election analysis, there's such a news fall which is happening. So obviously one doesn't know the names as yet because there are all these company names. But the first thing I was looking was that I can't see an Adani and Ambani in that. So that's going to make a lot of trouble with people who are saying, kahan pe? Adani, Ambani kahan hai? I can't see in the list so far. But of course, there might be company names,
All right.
you know, which could be that.
Back on Bengal. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
I think, pun not intended, this sends a message or sandesh, if I may say so. This was before the CAA, but this was after the Sandesh Khali horror, if I'm not mistaken. So it's absolutely clear, and it's not just the Sandesh Khali fiasco that TMC has had to face. Not just the fact that for 55 days, the tormentor of dozens of women, alleged gang rapist, was on the run. Not just the fact that the Kolkata High Court severely blasted the local state government there and the police being in cahoots. All these things have had an effect. And the fact of the matter is that 25 is, I think, 8 or 7 more than what the BJP managed last time.
18 they had last time.
18, yeah. So Swapanda would be absolutely elated with the result.
But is this Sandesh Kali, Swapan Dasgupta, is this the impact of Sandesh Kali? Because there is a view that it's some people say, you know, it's one island, it's off, you know, out at sea, and who really cares about it?
No doubt you're right about the geographical aloofness of Sandesh Kali. But I think it would be interesting if you have the data to see if the gender ratio, if there has been a swing of women voters against the Trinamool Congress after Sandesh Kali. And if you compare it to 2019, if you've got the data, that would really be the answer to her question. However, I would draw one caveat on this question of being elated on the 25, is that in Bengal, elections are a little different from everywhere else in the country. Insofar as in the rest of the country, people vote. In Bengal, the vote is managed. And I think that, how much of it, you know, I don't want to cast aspersions on the integrity of the elections, but this is a reality we've got to face up to, and whether that will have a 2 to 3% impact is something which we need to be
Nalit,
careful
you know,
about.
some of our viewers might be interested in the fact that why is it that the BJP and the TMC are at exactly the same vote share, but the BJP gets, what, 7-8 seats more than the TMC?
That's not particularly surprising because of the way the vote is concentrated for the BJP in certain areas. If you look at your map, even last time, the BJP had a significant number of seats, but it was largely in the southwest, little bit in the east and in the north. And to add to the point that Rahul was making earlier in this program on the tribal vote for the BJP, I do want to make a larger point that nationally last time, the BJP had a 70% strike rate in tribal seats. It won 31 out of the 47 odd reserved seats. Your poll is showing that trend has got strengthened this time, including in Bengal.
Okay, you know, interesting that you point out. Have you noticed that Rahul Gandhi goes on talking about Vanvasi, Adivasi? Because I think what has happened is in these elections, the state elections also, you know, traditionally everybody used to believe that the tribal vote falls into the kitty of the Congress, as it always used to. So, but these state elections showed up that that's not the case. So you saw in 2019 a wave moving away from the Congress for the tribal vote, and now again when these elections are coming, you're seeing this in Bengal also. So I think this whole Vanvasi, Adivasi debate one, and the second one, just quickly, I wanted to say is that when you talked about Sandesh Khali, I think you can see that when the TMC is going on talking about the women vote, because the women vote is essential for Mamata Banerjee. If that is going to be moving away from TMC towards the BJP, that just clearly shows that what the BJP had always said, that this is not about an outsider vote, we are not outsiders, and the TMC always said that these are the outsiders. Baharka. So you know that whole thing will crumble, that narrative will crumble.
But just some data here on the women vote. TMC now obviously anticipating perhaps something, raise the Lakshmi Bhandar cash benefit scheme from 500 to 1,000 for general women and 1,200 for SC/ST women. This has just happened. But just looking at the voting patterns, 2019, 17 out of 42 Lok Sabha seats, women recorded a higher turnout than men. In these seats, the TMC emerged victorious in 8, BJP in 7, the Congress in 2. In several of these seats, the difference in turnout between men and women was more than 5%. In Malda North, this gap was as high as 7.79%. So it is a significant vote that is having a determining effect in certain seats, and I'm going purely by the data. Perhaps we can pull out if
so
you can.
I want to focus on two
also
factors.
the managing the voting, which Shopanda said, because I think this time the election commission is going to have an excessive amount, excessive is what the other parties will say, but a significant amount of police presence, central forces present out there to see this managing of votes, which has been a tradition.
But it's not what happens during polling, it's what's been happening after
even
the
on
election.
polling day,
When there's
on polling day,
of
this
course.
managing of getting voters and not getting
which
is why you would see more central
Since we are on the M factor, managing elections, we talked about Matuas, Mahila. Can I just bring in the Muslim factor, right?
Yes.
Because let's be very clear about this. Mamata Banerjee, one of the three-pronged sort of vote banks of hers, one of them happens to be the Muslims, and the Muslims are a significant, particularly in those districts that border Bangladesh. I just want to bring where the Muslims are more than 20%. And here again, you could have two countercurrents, right? You can have one, the Muslim consolidation in favor of the Trinamool Congress. You could also have, in the aftermath of the CAA, a Matua and a Hindu consolidation. So whether it is in, South and North 24 Parganas, whether you go further north to Nadia and other districts in the central part of the state, the key for the BJP is, if because of CAA and because of this perception that Mamata Banerjee is dependent so much on the Muslim vote, particularly in the districts that border Bangladesh, if there is a reverse Hindu consolidation, then this sea of green that you see, and look at the difference in vote share in the last election, even though the number of seats was 22 to TMC and 18 to the BJP, the vote share difference was almost 10% in these seats. Not so much in the rest of Bengal, but in these seats, it was a 10% vote gap between the TMC and the BJP. The BJP, as per the News 18 poll, opinion poll for 2024, will and must narrow this gap, because otherwise you're not going to see a situation where the BJP has 25 and the TMC has 17. All right.
Well, we got lots of inputs,
on
lots of
Muslim
news,
vote,
lots of
Right.
conversations.
Right.
But the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, Bengal, if it turns out as the News 18 mega opinion poll, then that means, as Swapan Das Gupta said, that perhaps is indicative of the entire trend nationally. As we take a break, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have too many seats to speak about. 518 is the number that the News 18 mega opinion poll has done. 25 more seats. We will extrapolate based on the trends. 327 to the NDA, halfway mark is 272, 90 to the INDIA, 444 out of 543, 99 more seats to project. And to tell you, two big states to go. Stay with us right here on CNN News 18 on the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. Back on, ladies and gentlemen, on the News 18 mega opinion poll. 2 more states to go, Gujarat and Maharashtra out of the states that have been polled. And on the News 18 mega opinion poll, let's look at the numbers. 327 already. The states of Gujarat, 26 seats that Gujarat will return to the centre in the Lok Sabha elections. All of them going to the BJP. Is there a surprise there? After that landmark, historic victory in the Vidhan Sabha, and that too, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister's home state of Gujarat. Gujarat will set the tone for their Vada Pradhan. 56% vote share, INDI Alliance at 36% vote share, the others at 8%, ladies and gentlemen. These 26 seats take the NDA past the 350 number. So 350 par has happened. 350 par with 48 more seats to go has happened for the NDA. But what does that account for the BJP? Is the BJP gaining? Is it going to do better than 302? Is it in position there? Let's try and understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Himachal, 0. Punjab, +1. Haryana, Delhi, 0. Uttarakhand, 0. Gains. Uttar Pradesh, the gains from last time around, from 2019. For the BJP is 13 seats. Beg your pardon, for the NDA. Bihar, it's losing 1 seat. Assam, it's gaining 1 seat. West Bengal, it's gaining 7 seats. Jharkhand, it's the same as the last time around. So where are the gains overall happening for the NDA? +1 in Chhattisgarh, +5 in Odisha, +4 in Telangana. It's the same story as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned. Let's move to the south. It's gaining 15 seats in Andhra Pradesh. It's down 1 in Karnataka, up 2 in Kerala, and up 5, +5. Opening its account in Tamil Nadu, +5, ladies and gentlemen. So overall, the total gains are 54 seats for the NDA. 54 seats for the NDA. Rajasthan and Gujarat is the same as the last time around. 54 seats plus for the NDA so far. We have not accounted for the 48 seats of Maharashtra yet. 353. Total number of seats, 470 out of 543. You will say the math is not adding up. Why? Because 25 seats we will extrapolate and we will put out the final number. We have polled on the News 18 mega opinion poll 518 Lok Sabha constituencies. So 25 will be left. We will extrapolate based on the trends and we'll put out the final number out of 543. But for 470 seats so far, it is 353 for the NDA. Runaway victory already. Zaka Jacob, are there any surprises? 350 par for NDA, 400 par possible.
You know, with all due apologies to my friends in Gujarat, there's really nothing to talk about. I mean, like, we've got 26 out of 26 for the last 2 elections straight, and now, presumably, for the 3rd election. What do you talk about? I mean, like, there's nothing to talk about. I'm sorry, Rahul. I defer to you.
Is there a correlation? No, I'm just asking you a question because I don't have the information. Maybe people here might. Is there a correlation between prime ministers carrying their state election after election, or there have been some prime ministers who became prime minister but lost their state? I mean, was it Indra Kumar Gujral, Gowda?
Did he have a state?
I don't remember Manmohan Singh carrying a state. So
yeah, exactly. Neither Indra Kumar Gujral became the prime minister. Yeah, not Indra Kumar Gujral.
I mean, what I meant was, did the state also?
No. Charan Singh Morarji Desai. They were not. They were not associated with a state as such. Yeah. So I don't think we can look at.
They weren't on the ticket.
But Mr. Modi is definitely associated with Gujarat, and you saw in 2022 156 seats for the BJP, Congress 17, and Aam Aadmi Party opening their share in the assembly with 5.
But can you believe this result?
Yeah,
I mean, I think the prime minister has gone into I'm not being. I am actually now throwing this question out there.
In fact, I would be surprised if it becomes 60% instead of 56%.
It's a remarkable assertion of the BJP's ability to have reached the public out there and built a perception that it is a party that obviously has now pan-national presence. And most importantly, what does this do for the satraps? look at the gains. They've all come at the expense mostly of regional parties. Even the DMK has been cut to size, if we go by our projections. This is an only, just to put it out there, and we can discuss this maybe, the Rajya Sabha situation is going to dramatically alter after this. And that's going to have implications.
The first 100 days post May 2024, the result day, will be very, very critical. The first 100 days post 2019 results were also very, very critical and landmark, ladies and gentlemen. So let's not forget that. But here's the question that I want to put to all of you.
Ahead with his
here's
agenda.
the question that I want to put to all of you. 73 seats still to be declared, to be projected. 47 seats more to 400, 400 par for the NDA. My question to you, lady and the gentleman, is this is the third time they are seeking a mandate and it's bigger than ever before. Dr. Ranganathan, what does it say?
I think it's just
already
remarkable.
bigger than ever before. Huh?
Yeah, I think it's really remarkable. To beat anti-incumbency once is tough. To beat it twice is remarkable. To beat it 3 times round is just, I would say, phenomenal. In fact, I've been speaking with people and saying, where was the need to say 400 par? Because A, it sometimes can reek of overconfidence, and B, it can instill some lethargy or inertia in the voters and say, well, jeet to gaye, ab kya vote kare? So is it something that is going to boomerang? Well, judging by the opinion poll.
The entrenchment also of conservatism,
Right.
conservative politics.
Right.
I don't know, I think the Prime Minister has also entered now a realm of very few global leaders who've come back. I think in Britain you probably had the maximum going back to Walpole.
But you know, to explain
more than
this,
3 terms. I mean, you've had some British prime ministers who've come back 3 times.
I think.
He was there for 20 years or so.
But you know,
not the scale.
If I can just explain this, just citing one example, because Tehseen interrupted me yesterday, and I fact checked him, he was woefully wrong, but he's not here, so there's no point.
He was woefully wrong today also.
Oh, was he? Yeah. But you know, how does one explain it? To reiterate what I said yesterday, Anand, it's been 11 years since Obamacare was launched. 40 million Americans have got this Affordable Health Insurance Act. 40 million in 11 years. It's been 6 years since Modi Care or Ayushman was launched. The population of people with Ayushman is more than the population of America, 330 million people. More than the population of United Kingdom people, Indians have been treated on Ayushman Bharat. I mean, these are staggering figures. So when you ask, how has this man beaten anti-incumbency twice over? It's on the basis of results.
Right, on the basis of results. Yeah, quickly, I have to.
No,
yes.
Anand says, why did the Prime Minister have to say 400 par? One, I think it is to energize the cadres, because there does come about a lethargy and, that, okay, fine, Modi is going to win it for us. After 2 elections, to energize your cadres to go for the election, you need a target and 400 par. The other thing is, when you put this huge target of 400, you're also giving a signal to possible allies. It could be a Naidu, it could be in Odisha, it could be Patnaik, it could be anybody, to say that, look, we are going way beyond just 272, we are going 400. Come join us in this plan.
On the one hand, there is one group which said 100 par, the other one is saying 400 par. Now, which is possible? Like we're going to take a break. We're way over here on the broadcast. When we come back, that one big state of Maharashtra, 48 seats and the 25 seats extrapolated, 73 seats that we will account for, ladies and gentlemen. Can the NDA manage 47 out of those 73 seats? Because that means they will touch that number of 400. It's the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll. This is the scorecard right now. Stay right here with us here on the News 18 network on CNN News 18. Back on the News 18 mega opinion poll, not just a halfway race, it's going all the whole hog, ladies and gentlemen. NDA 350 par already, 353 par, still 73 seats to be announced, ladies and gentlemen, on the News 18 mega opinion poll. Will the BJP do its best ever? Will the NDA cross that 400 ka number, 400 par? These are questions that need to be answered. There is one big state to go. That is the state of Maharashtra, 48 seats. We'll get to that. We are counting back to it exactly at 9:15. We'll put out the Maharashtra and, of course, the All India numbers. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most comprehensive, exhaustive, widespread opinion poll in a long, long time. We have gone to 518 constituencies, the News 18 Poll Hub, doing computer-aided personal interviews across 518 Lok Sabha constituencies. Let's quickly bring you the methodology so that it's beyond doubt that there is nothing tele about it, there is nothing imaginary about it, it's all on ground. 21 major states have been covered, accounting for 95% of the Lok Sabha constituencies. The remaining 25 seats, we will make a projection, an extrapolation based on the trends, and we'll give you the final numbers. 1,18,616 people have been polled with a questionnaire in 11 languages. So no language, every spoken language that they understand, they have given the interviews in the language they understand. Total of 518 Lok Sabha constituencies have been covered out of 543, and 210 interviews conducted in each constituency. Every constituency we have had at least 210 people who've been interviewed. 3 Vidhan Sabha constituencies in each Lok Sabha seat has been covered. The choice of the Vidhan Sabha seat or the Vidhan Sabha constituencies in each Lok Sabha seat has been done via random sampling. 5 polling booths selected via random sampling there. And to ensure that there is equitable distribution, the right-hand rule has also come into place. A lot of effort has gone into getting you the data which you can trust. Now let's try and understand where the story stands at this point. The story stands where the NDA is making huge gains compared to the last time around. What's the story? The NDA is leading in a total of 57 seats, more than their 2019 performance. ये gains कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? Himachal 0, Punjab 1, Haryana 0, Delhi 0, Uttarakhand 0. When I say 0 means it's the same score as last time. This is 1 better than last time. So that's what? That's how you got to interpret it. Uttar Pradesh 13 better than last time. Plus 13 better than last time. And let's get some more of the states here. Assam is plus 3 more than last time. West Bengal 7 more than last time. Bihar, 1 less than the last time around for the NDA. Jharkhand is the same as last time. That's why 0. No gain, no loss. Chhattisgarh plus 1. Odisha plus 5. Big bump up here. Telangana again plus 4. Maharashtra plus 3. Madhya Pradesh, MP, that is 0. Let's come down and look at these numbers here. Andhra Pradesh plus 15. Karnataka minus 1. Kerala plus 2. And Tamil Nadu plus 5. So overall, 57 seats the NDA has gained. Zaka Jacob, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Smita Prakash, Swapan Das Gupta, Shehzad Punawala, national spokesperson of the BJP with us, and Rahul Shivshankar. 73 seats still to go, sir. Maharashtra numbers, we have given them a little bit of an inkling on that map too. The smarter ones will catch that. We'll put out the numbers in 10 minutes. But we've got to be honest, even we are getting the numbers as we are seeing it. That's what's happening.
It'll be interesting to see the overall NDA vote share. Just to put this into perspective, I did some, again, data analysis. The quality of the victory will be key because obviously this is turning out to be a bit of a non-contest. You just want to know how reaffirming this victory was for Mr. Modi. This is very interesting statistics. The BJP won 224 seats. I think I began with this, with 50% plus vote share in 2019. That was 88 more than 2014. Here the BJP and the NDA has grown further, made inroads into places where, quite frankly, many people didn't think it would make an impact. Now we need to see if it can stay with those vote shares in the other seats that, we'll have to look at the data.
To put this in context, again, the last time someone, well, obviously this is a pro-incumbency vote, it's an advantage, but there was an incumbency advantage in 1971 for Indira Gandhi. She was very hobbled and she came back because of defections, etc. She was the leader of Congress R. She came back with a 43% vote share. Has the BJP equaled that? We don't know. We'll have to see. Of course, there's a material difference here. The Prime Minister has been in power for 10 years. There, Indira Gandhi, as I said, was stabbed in the back by a whole bunch of people who wanted her out. But that
was before the Bangladesh war.
Yes. So you can imagine, had the election taken place, so you have that. I'm not looking at the 84 mandate because obviously that was on the back of a tragedy.
I was going to say that, the only time a coalition or a party has got more than 400 seats in Indian elections in 15, 16
but that's
general elections that we've had. Yes, of course, it was on the back of a very tragic event.
And even in that election, there was a distinct before and after situation.
Yes.
Congress was actually losing till that thing happened. And then the next round of polls that happened after the assassination, then there was this
No, you're talking about the Rajiv Gandhi assassination.
84. Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about 84.
Okay, sorry.
So the only time any party or coalition has crossed 400 is in 84. But like I said, it was on the back of a tragic event. The two times any party or coalition has gone past 350, once Nehru did and once in 1971, Mrs. Gandhi did. So if Mr. Modi goes past 350 and 360 presumably, then he would outdo the best ever performance of both Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi.
If you go past 272 in a complex country like ours, I think that's just good enough. I mean, you could then say that, look, I need those numbers for tactical and strategic reasons. And I think one of those reasons is that the BJP wants presence in the Rajya Sabha where it can go ahead with a legislative agenda of unfettered perhaps by the various others that held it back
and
for
there
long
will be
periods
some
of time.
significant pushes. Shehzad Poonawalla, let me quickly ask you. First of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us in this grand finale. We're going to come to the state that you belong to in just a bit. But if you look at the numbers as of now, what do you reckon is the reason why the numbers are showing that this has been done in February 2024, still 3-4 months ahead of the actual polls?
So the single reason that I can see is that this is Modi ki guarantee at play. I mean, even when you've counted for 70 seats, which means you have about 73 seats left.
Yeah, 73,
of which I think we are going to get at least 65 seats. So if you're 353 now, add 65 to that, it's past 415. I'm allowed to speculate a little bit, and I suspect that I know what is happening in Maharashtra. We will be the dominant force there and also in the northeast.
Shehzad, sorry to interrupt, Shehzad knows his numbers. He says 415 because the highest anybody has ever got is 414. That was 1984.
So it takes one genius to identify another one. But having said that, on a more serious note, look, even when you're talking about Nehruji and about Indiraji, the fact of the matter is that our democracy was essentially a single party democracy with a party that had an overhanging legacy of the freedom movement, although Mahatma Gandhi had a different view about shutting that shop and allowing a level playing field. So in those contexts, that achievement is not as big as at the time now when you have a deepening of democratic institutions. Some might argue that democratic institutions are under stress. That's something they do night after night despite the Supreme Court verdicts. So I think in today's context, one thing is for sure, that pro-incumbency. Earlier, you would have heard Rahul, Anand and Zaka come up with anti-incumbency why governments change. But if after 10 years, a government is coming with a bigger mandate, Modi has given to this country's lexicon the terminology of pro-incumbency. And you see that in Gujarat, in Madhya Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, in Uttarakhand. You perform, you deliver, and people vote for you on your performance.
Right. See, 2-3 things. Swapan Das ji, please tell me. Is it about building the party or diffusing the opposition that the BJP is focused on largely? Because everywhere you see that they've tried to break down the opposition rather than build the party. The other thing is change the party or change the leadership before the voter votes you out. That's also another template that's been followed.
Well, I think you try and neutralize all the negatives to begin with, any potential one. And that includes changing the MPs where necessary. It also includes strengthening the party organization. But let me add one thing. If the scale of this victory, if it really happens, cannot be explained by party organization alone. It's something else. In 2014, it was the BJP consciously decided to make it a presidential type election. But Modi was known only in northern, western and central India. He was not known elsewhere. In 2019, there was a more greater national presence after 5 years. Now, what we are seeing is not merely a presence, but it's almost like cult-like status. I think that's really what the change has been. And really the party organization exists, and that's uneven in its quality. In some places, like in Gujarat, Amit Shah goes to his constituency once. There you have someone who's monitoring every page of the voter rolls.
Yeah.
The extent of the organization, and in places like West Bengal where people, the party organization exists in terror.
Yeah.
So there's a very vast degree of unevenness around it. But what's really there is that if they can harvest as much as possible this enormous sort of this cult-like status which Modi has acquired, and that is really what this election is about.
And that cult-like status could not have happened unless there was delivery on ground.
Of course,
The Labharti factor. Smita Prakash and then Dr. Rangana.
Yeah, Rahul mentions 272 should be enough in a country like India. Now, obviously, Rahul, you're not a tiger mom, 90% kafi nahi hai. You have to get 98% if you want to get admission, right?
I differ here with CJ. I'm quite conscious of what gender I am. I will never be tiger mom.
It's fluid right
so
now.
So nothing fluid there.
That's one point. The second point is, I think, like Shopanda said, that, this everybody working towards it. The BJP, I think, wants to set itself that, it is the default party of governance, something that one used to associate the Congress party with, that this is the default party of governance with 3 terms and sweeping changes in every aspect of a citizen's life. From the voting stage, from the election stage to the delivery of government mechanisms, of government policies and programs, they are trying to establish with a 3rd term that the BJP has replaced the Congress party as the party of governance, as the natural party of governance in this country.
If I can just add to that, to take on from where Swapanda and Smita, both of you've talked of a cult-like status. You've talked of, delivery. I think if one goes a little bit back and understands how come this en masse vote base has shifted, clearly it has shifted to the BJP, 200, 300 million people, from the BSP, from the Congress. You talked about Bengal, tribal vote, everything. Why has that happened? I think people forget that one of the most iconic speeches Narendra Modi has made, away from, all the rhetoric and the oratory, was in 2008, 2009. He said, for the next 15 years, in the next year, I am going to make what he called as a nano class. So people understand what nano class was. So he said, it is above the lowest socio-economic strata and lower than the lowest middle class. And if you look at in the last 10 years, the delivery that has happened of 100 million gas connections, of 120 million toilets, of 110 million tap connections.
Or food security for 80 crore people.
For 3 years running, 460 million, Mudra Yojana, 360 million Ayushman cards. That 200, 300 million people are now voting for Narendra Modi. So the cult is backed with, something that has been delivered.
A quick one. Look at what he was facing in these last 5 years. So there was massive pushback, almost riots. Then you had a demo hangover. You had GST. You had COVID. You had a war in Ukraine that was pressuring prices. Then you had a hostile Western press and an ecosystem that was sort of trying to pull you asunder.
And so the Israel-Hamas conflict. Anand uses this often. I'm going to borrow it from him. Very often people say that Modi is winning because of Tina. There is no alternative. But this result shows that it's Nita. Narendra is the only alternative. And it comes when you have these new votes that we are adding to. The Congress's vote is, I think Rahul had put out a very informative tweet on that it's been stagnant and it might even fall now. But the BJP is looking for new votes, and therefore I was very enthusiastic. I was jumping when I was seeing the Tamil Nadu and Kerala results that you all were showing.
Yes.
That excites me more than UP.
Okay, we've got 30 seconds to go to the Maharashtra number. Sorry.
No, make a point.
I do want, yes, there is a cult-like status, no doubt about it. But a cult-like status, I think there is, even now, even at this result, you are seeing the extent to which there is a permeation of that cult-like status, whether it is in the south, whether it is in the east. Yes, these numbers hold. It's 25 to the BJP and 17 to the TMC in Bengal. But can the BJP dislodge Mamata in the 2026 Bengal elections?
But are we using the word cult a little loosely?
Yeah. Not just
there
that.
There are still
Okay,
50.
just hold your thoughts. Recording the Maharashtra numbers, the final numbers from the News 18 mega opinion poll, plus this will be the 25 seats that will be extrapolated. Look at that, 41 seats to the NDA. 41 seats to the NDA out of 48, 7 to the INDIA. 41 seats to the NDA, 7 to the INDIA. So the Maha Vikas Aghadi over there, 7 seats only. 41 to the NDA. The last time around, what was the score? Is there a gain for the BJP and the NDA here? We'll look at all of that in just a bit. 48% vote share. After the diffusion of the political parties there, a lot of people were asking, inko vote kahan se milega? This Gathbandhan, the BJP, the Shinde faction, Ajit Pawar, all of these together, they are saying that the projections are 48% vote share when Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on the ticket. INDIA, 34%. One trend, ladies and gentlemen, across all states. The Congress plus Alliance has an average of 30 to 35%, 33 to 35% vote share. It's a constant. Others, 18%. That keeps fluctuating up and down. The BJP, NDA vote shares go up and down. But on an average, the INDIA, even if it is coming second or losing the plot there, the INDIA somewhere is always getting this 35%. Will that reflect nationally also? And that's the story in itself. That's the story in itself. But Maharashtra,
the region-wise breakup, before we come to Shehzad, I think the region-wise breakup in Maharashtra is fascinating in and of itself because, you know, you look at this and the thing that stands out for me is the Mumbai-Thane region. Look at this, 9 seats for the NDA, only 1 to the India Alliance. Now, Mumbai and Thane was supposed to be the Shiv Sena's guard. This is where, you know, the Shiv Sena blooded its politics. And this is where everybody said, oh, Uddhav Thackeray has sympathy going in his favor and so on and so forth. It's 9 seats to the NDA, only 1 to the India Alliance, which means that Eknath Shinde has established himself that his Sena, the Shinde Sena, is the real Sena in Mumbai. The other thing that stands out is in the western part, which again is alarm bells as far as Sharad Pawar is concerned. Western Maharashtra has always been the NCP and Mr. Pawar's guard. But look at this. It's 10 seats to the NDA, only 1 seat to the India Alliance, which means that I don't know if this is a passing of the baton in that sense from Mr. Senior Pawar, Sharad Pawar, to Ajit Pawar, whose faction seems to be getting 10 seats and only 1 seat to the NCP. But really, these two regions for me stand out in a way that it could really have an impact, not just in the Lok Sabha election now, but 6 months down the line in the Vidhan Sabha election as well.
Well, quickly, ladies and gentlemen, 518 seats is what we covered on the News 18 mega opinion poll. NDA has 394, 6 short of 400. There are 25 seats which we have not yet extrapolated. The INDIA is 3 short of 100. 25 seats we have not yet extrapolated. Out of 518, the NDA is romping home. It's got a clear mandate, an overwhelming mandate. But will the NDA do 400 par when it comes to the extrapolation of 543 seats? Others are at 27 seats, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep the focus on that. The moment we extrapolate based on these trends, the remaining 25 seats, we've got to wait and see. NDA 400 par hota hai ki nahi? INDIA 100 par hota hai ki nahi? Who gets the gains here? And does the BJP come close to 350 seats? A never before for the BJP. They would have never even thought. Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji said, ek din 300 laenge, but ye 350 ho sakte hain ki nahi? These are all questions, but let's come back to Maharashtra. Maharashtra, we have good friend Clyde Crasto and Kamru Chaudhary also with us. Clyde, before I come to you, yes,
just to inject, now, look, I mean, this is a brilliant result and congratulations, Shehzad. But, you know, Maharashtra, when we began this entire series 2 days ago, we began with a plate called honesty. And on the honesty sweepstakes, the Prime Minister got 75, 76. I think the others were very far behind. Is this this great triumph in Maharashtra without a blemish? Would you be honest enough to say that, look, we've taken in a lot of people who we actually thought were corrupt and tainted, etc.?
Rahul, I am a very big consumer and a very big reader of Indian texts. And Krishnaji, in the war against the Kauravas, had utilized the support of all kinds of elements who were on the Kaurav side. But would you say that Krishnaji's victory or the victory of Dharma was blemished? So I think that should suffice. This is a victory of Gita. Gita being growth, infrastructure, technology and Atmanirbhar Bharat. And I think that Gita jiske saath hai, victory uske saath hai. Krishna ji has blessed us. We are only walking on his path.
No, but point is, when it comes to Krishna, those who do their karma properly, Krishna rewards them irrespective of whether they are good or bad. Here, those who are already called out bad cannot suddenly overnight become good. Let's go
but
back.
if they were all this bad, why were they with
and all
them?
is okay. Clyde Crasto. Good to have you with us. Kamru Chaudhary, namaste. Clyde, I'm sure you will not agree with these numbers, but there will be a certain amount of worry. Kya se kya ho gaya?
Well, Anand, nice to see you. Looking good. I mean, I'd say hello to the others also. The thing is, you spoke about karma, and I think I completely agree with you. Very rarely do my friend Anand and I agree on a lot of things when it's on television. But I agree with you. Karma, comes and bites you. I don't want to say the rest, Point here is what you said was very clear, that if people who are tainted, they cannot be overnight clean. And that's what my point is. I'll tell you something very clearly. You said I will not agree with this numbers. Fair enough. And I'm not going to agree with these numbers. I'm finding it very surprising that Rahul Shivshankar has already said these are results and declared and exceptional or whatever. That's okay. Point here is very clear. My question is, does the BJP believe that all these people, whom their leaders also had accused of scam, taint, Kirit Somat went to town, accusing all these leaders. They all joined. Just a few days before Ajit Pawar joined the ranks of the BJP, our Honorable Prime Minister was talking about 70 crores, irrigation scam.
Clyde, can I interrupt you there? The political aji-baji is all right. For the BJP who called them corrupt at all points in time, you as the NCP always maintained that Ajit Pawar was not tainted. Does the voter now believe that Ajit Pawar was not tainted but he was in the wrong team? And we'll vote for him because now he's in the right team.
So let the voters decide. Let me tell you something, Anand. Right? These are not the results. Okay? You will say that I won't agree because I'm in the opposition. Fair enough. But you know and I know we can't change this. These are not the results. But let me tell you one thing. Mark my words, and I'll be coming back on this channel and I'll be debating with you further also. But mark my words. Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde, both the groups, are going to be a liability for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Maharashtra. I repeat, Ajit Pawar group and Eknath Shinde group are going to be a liability for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Maharashtra. They would have done much better.
Right. So let me just quickly say namaste. Let me just quickly say namaste to Prithviraj Chavanji, former Maharashtra Chief Minister, is there with us. Prithviraj Chavanji, namaste.
Namaste.
This is Anand here with me, Zaka, and we also have Rahul Shivshankar, Shehzad Poonawala, Smita Prakash, Swapan Das Gupta, Anand Ranganathan, all of us in the studio. We've just put out the Maharashtra numbers, sir. 41 seats to the NDA, 7 seats to the INDI alliance. Would you agree with this? And an overwhelming vote share also going towards the NDA in Maharashtra out of the 48 seats. Your thoughts, sir?
No, I think the numbers are completely skewed, not keeping with the reality on the ground. One of the comments about the vote share. You have shown 18% vote share as the undecided or the independents and all. Now that's a very large number. See, in Maharashtra, these are early days. The final alliance is not yet frozen. We are discussing with Mahavikas Aghadi of Mr. Prakash Ambedkar. There are smaller parties like Swabhimani Shetkari Sangathan, which are with us, and many other smaller parties are with us. So this 18% to independence is, I think it's skewed the calculation quite a lot. But the ground reality is not what your numbers are showing. See, there is always an initial advantage of the ruling party because they're continuously advertising. Mr. Modi is on television, no matter what. So the people who are casually voting or expressing their opinion in an opinion poll, remember Modi's television appearance and all that. But this is not what's going to happen when people actually go to the polling booth and push a button to select a new government. That's going to be completely different. That's when the inflation, that's when the berojgari, that's when the farmer suicide and all these things will come to the fore.
Right.
And whether the present government has succeeded in fulfilling the promises that they made before 14, before 19, that is what people are going to remember.
Prithviraji and to all
right
our panelists.
now,
Sir,
even the seat adjustment is not done.
Sir, please hold your thoughts. 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Just 30 seconds because we've got the final numbers. We've got the extrapolation and the final numbers of 543 seats. It's the mega opinion poll, News 18 mega opinion poll. The number for the NDA is 411. 411 is the final number for the NDA. 400 par. So the remaining 25 seats from 394 to 411. So bulk of those 25 seats are going to the NDA, and that's why the NDA is 400 par, ladies and gentlemen, 411. And if that's the number, the big number, the INDIA also crosses the 100 mark. The INDIA alliance is at 105 seats, 411 to the NDA, of which somewhere the understanding is about 60 odd seats is to the allies. And that means 350 seats, ladies and gentlemen, is for the BJP. 350 is for the BJP, and somewhere around the allies would account for about 60-61 seats. That's where the 411 number comes. Now, Prithviraj Chavanji, this is the News 18 mega opinion poll. You believe Maharashtra numbers are skewed, they're wrong. How much do you think the INDIA alliance or the Mahavikas Aghadi is in position to win out of 48 seats? Let's take the conversation forward. Ji.
No, I think I've said in the other channel also, the ground reality, if you look at the real situation in Maharashtra, the INDA alliance, the Mahavikas Aghadi alliance is definitely going to get a majority of the seats out of 48. There's absolutely no doubt. And as the issues get crystallized, as the campaign kicks off, as the candidates go in the field, I think this picture will be frozen further. Right now, there's only Mr. Modi, and there's nobody against him because the candidates are not finalized, the alliance is not yet finalized. So, initial advantage will go to the ruling party, which is massively advertising. Mr. Modi is on the television completely all the time.
Right.
So, that's fine. I mean, people who just give their opinion quickly, remember Mr. Modi's photograph and all that. So, initial advantage to the ruling party is acceptable, but not to that extent that you're showing.
Each individual person has been personally interviewed.
Numbers are just not
210 respondents in every Lok Sabha seat. It's a computer-aided personal interview. The average interview duration is 12 to 15 minutes. So there are at least 25 to 30 questions that they have answered, and that's when we've got these numbers. Sir, please stay on with us. Just there are a lot of people who want to in the studio who have their points of view. Shehzad Poonawala, Smita Prakash, then Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Overall, nationally, the BJP and the NDA is getting about 48% vote share. That's what we are given to understand. We'll go to Zakazika for the details on the wall.
Just 10 seconds. Okay. With all due respect, first of all, I have tremendous respect for Prithviraj Chavanji. He knows I personally regard him a lot. But, you know, the ground is slipping under the feet of the Congress. When is the last time the Congress party in a state like Maharashtra, which has been like the West Bengal of the Congress for a very long period of time, has been able to form government on its own? The BJP over the last two elections has been the only party to get above 100 seats, point number one. Point number two, sir, you are saying Modi ji everywhere. Revant Reddy has a different point of view. It's not TV that wins you or loses you elections. But having said that, what is happening in your own alliance? What is happening in the northwest seat of Mumbai? Sanjay Raut and Sanjay Nirupam. Sanjay Raut is saying Congress is zero party. And Sanjay Nirupam says that, you know, there's a tutti-putti Sena. So, sir, you are not even able to get your alliance act together, leave alone articulating the issues, and it's just the issues on which people are voting.
Time.
Okay, he just wants to respond. Yes, Prithviraj.
Yeah. No, I think these are early days. The alliance is not yet frozen here. Candidates are not finalized. Now, the individual candidates who do not get the seat may have made some comments, and these are not the views of the parties. Parties are sitting together every day and trying to iron out the last problems in the alliance. There are some issues, one or two places where both parties are arguing for a seat to be given to them. But when the campaign takes off, when the candidates are in the field, the issues get frozen. And when the real issues of people, like the berozgari, mehengai, the farmer suicide, the corruption with which the governments have been formed, I think when that is unfurled before the people, I think the real story will come out.
You know,
These are early days. Of course,
Prithviraj ji saying
now
that,
you have
it's
shown the
Modi,
numbers,
Modi everywhere. It's interesting that the Congress has not said so far, or anybody has not said so far, that Rahul Gandhi has entered Maharashtra today. He was on stage with Sharad Pawar, who is an alliance partner, and the vibes were very cold. There was nothing happening. He spoke about EVM Hatao. He says people are saying EVM Hatao. The other thing he spoke about was Agniveer. Again, non-resonance. His yatra ends on 17th. It's ending right now in Maharashtra on the 17th, but no mention of that in the Congress. If you look at social media, nobody's talking about that yatra having entered Maharashtra. The other thing which I want to say is about the earlier election and today. 1 minute, Prithviraj, just a couple of seconds. Between last time and this time, Shiv Sena has split, the NCP has split. Today, the Supreme Court has pulled up the Ajit Pawar faction to say that don't use Sharad Pawar's picture. You have your own party, your own image. Why are you using Sharad Pawar? So, while we might say the Sharad Pawar faction is completely finished, and even Rahul Gandhi might not give importance to Sharad Pawar like they used to earlier on the stage, the fact is you cannot write off Sharad Pawar, which all of us reporters time and again every election have been proven wrong.
No,
on
I just want
Pawar
to add one small thing. Like I said, these numbers are Umesh Jha's numbers, right? These are not my numbers or Rahul Shiv Shankar's numbers. But my point is, this is the first election. Up until 2019, in Maharashtra, you had natural allies. You had the BJP and the Shiv Sena, which were natural allies. On the other side, you had the Congress and the NCP, which were natural allies. This is the first statewide election that you're seeing in Maharashtra where you have unnatural allies on both sides. You have BJP, Shinde Sena, Ajit Pawar faction of NCP on one side. You have on the other side, Shiv Sena, UBT and Congress. I mean, Lord knows that if the Shiv Sena and the Congress were to come together 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they're completely unnatural allies. So to say that the people of Maharashtra are just going to completely overlook the unnatural alliances, this is a famous adage, right? In politics, chemistry matters much more than arithmetic. This is an anti-chemistry mandate.
Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
I have tremendous respect for Prithviraj. He is one of the few top leaders of Maharashtra who hasn't yet joined the BJP. But couple of things out here that I'd like to point out. Number one, when he says that Modi is on television all the time, and that, please remember, Modi being on television is not winning BJP votes. Rahul being on television all the time is winning BJP votes. And when he says, when the issues come on...
Not you, Rahul.
Rahul Gandhi. And when he talks about, inflation, unemployment, he must remember inflation is at its lowest on the eve of any general election in the last memory. Unemployment is at its lowest, 3.1%. So I, along with Shehzad, my brother, take the word. It's not Tina, it's not Neeta, it's Smita. Splendid Modi is the alternative.
Splendid Modi is the alternative.
Okay, so Pandas Gupta ji.
But just one line on this unnatural alliances bit, sir, if I may. Unnatural alliances, just for your knowledge, even when the NCP was a whole with Sharad Pawar ji and Ajit Pawar ji, they actually saved our government in 2014 in the state. When Shiv Sena was outside the alliance, it was Sharad Pawar ji who took the decision to support us in the assembly. So these are not unnatural things. Eknath Shinde being with BJP is not at all unnatural. Yes, Uddhav ji being with Congress is very unnatural because they used to accuse Uddhav Sena of committing the Mumbai riots.
See, okay, Prithviraj, yes, Swapan ji, and then after that Prithviraj Chauhan.
Incidentally, it's not Swapan Das ji, it's Swapan.
That's my habit, sir. I address everybody with G and respect.
No. Das is not it's not one word.
It's his way of saying how old
Swapan
you
ji.
are.
That's right.
Okay, Swapan ji is better. Okay,
thank you.
Swapan ji and Swapan Das.
I'm rather sort of, I feel very bad for Prithviraj Chauhan. Because here is a person who is the leader of one of the most important organizations in Maharashtra, now basically saying, look, give us some time. Let's get our act together. And I think it's a very sad situation. And he knows very well that it's unlikely to happen and they're unlikely to get their act together ever. And it's so reminiscent because, people like me who've got a long historical memory, remember 1984 when we were in the opposition activists, and we were saying the same thing. Oh, give us time, we'll somehow cobble together a coalition government, we'll get something. But the Congress had the momentum completely on its side. And it's so reminiscent of that, my heart goes out to Prithviraj.
Prithviraj Chavanji.
You know how to rub salt.
Okay. So listen, two things. As I said, these are early days. The alliances are not in place. The candidate is not in place. The issues are not yet been crystallized. When the election continues after some time, you'll know that people will ultimately forget about natural alliance and unnatural alliance. People will go to the real issues, and you cannot ignore the real issues. So I think let's not worry about what's happening today. There's a massive advertisement campaign. Now people talked about Rahul Gandhi entered Maharashtra. Yes, he's entered Maharashtra, but his rallies are not being shown by any television channel. He's been completely blanked out. But you look at the response that he's getting in various districts that he had entered there.
No, but Smita Prakashji's objection was that the Congress party itself is not pushing it. The Congress party itself is not talking about it in its handle. That's what Smita Prakash had to say.
Who has put the media?
What should Congress party do? Congress
Party, with due respect,
the live media is not showing. Regular channels are not showing the Rahul Gandhi rally at all.
Sir, who has made the G14 list of journalists?
We have to depend on the social media.
Sir, who has put the G14 list of journalists where you have banned certain journalists that we will not appear on your shows? We will not appear on your discussions. By the way, Anand is in that G14 list, aren't you, Anand?
No, I am in the list of some BJP national spokespersons also. So this runs in every political party.
No,
I just hope
where there are allies of the Congress who are in power. Like, for example, in Tamil Nadu.
Blacklist of journalists, I don't.
Sir, what prevents in Tamil Nadu or Kerala or in Andhra Pradesh for them to use the footage which is available to the channels? They can run that, but even in those states, they are not running. The point is, I'm sorry to say this, but वो rally या यात्रा बिकता नहीं है.
But what you're saying कि to black out a rally is all right, is what you're saying.
No, the footage is...
the main channel should black it out.
No, the channels...
Because the Prime Minister wants the rally to be blacked out. Therefore, it will be blacked out. That's okay to be blacked out.
No. Prithviraj Chavanji, one of the two aspects what's being said is that in the states that are currently being dominated, ruled by the India Alliance members, even there Rahul Gandhi's Nyaya Yatra is not being spoken about, one. Secondly, even from the Congress handle today, there was no show of strength or no aspects highlighting the fact that the NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar and Rahul Gandhi are on the same stage. So that's what Smita Prakash was saying. Quickly to our viewers, News 18 mega opinion poll. This is the breakup. To Prithviraj Chavanji, Clyde Crasto, Kamru Chaudhary, who's not yet spoken. We'll come to him now. 350 to the BJP. The Allies get 61 seats. The Congress short of 50 seats. The Congress is at 49. And the allies of the Congress, allies in the India Alliance, the smaller parties, perhaps some of the regional Chhatraps, gain more. They collectively have 56 seats compared to the National Party, that is Congress Party, at 49. The INDIA Alliance overall 105. The NDA 411. Prithviraj Chavanji, I know you have to leave. He's not there. He's left already. Yes, Kamru Chaudhary, your thoughts. And then I'll bring in Clyde Castro again.
Yeah, we all heard my leader, Prithviraj ji. He gave a very, very good description of the entire opinion poll that you are running on national television. But since I've joined late and I've seen the Maharashtra opinion poll, let me just point out a few facts out here. 2019, BJP is polled around 27%, Shiv Sena around 23%, NCP around 15%, and Congress around 16%. Now, what does this suggest? That the BJP is going to up to around, or the alliance of the BJP is going up to 41%, and Congress and the alliance is going up to 33%. What necessarily you have done is you have split the Shiv Sena and the NCP votes and added that with the BJP votes. But the ground reality is absolutely different, as my leader Prithviraj ji has just now shown. Because Shinde is going to be a discard after this election. Ajit Pawar will also be a discard after this election, like Chautala was in Haryana. So what happens here is that my reports from the ground suggest that the Shiv Sena votes will be split around on a 70-30 basis. The NCP votes led by Ajit Pawar group will be split on a 70-30 votes. The Mahavikas Agadi out here stands a chance to reach up to 40%.
So his argument is that
plus.
Ajit Pawar will get 30% because of the split, Eknath Shinde 30%.
If the maths was so deterministic, one second. Then in 2019, there was a state called Uttar Pradesh, which saw, since the word is being used, an unnatural alliance. The SP, the BSP and the RLD all coming together. But there was no chemistry. As a result of which, they ended up with somewhere around 20% or 22% of the vote.
Rahul,
maths is not deterministic, sir. It is chemistry.
No. Let me just be logical in your questioning, sir. Let me just explain what happened in Uttar Pradesh vis-a-vis.
So maths is all about logic.
Coming to the point, sir, the basic what happened in Uttar Pradesh was a reverse polarization. Same way what happened in West Bengal in 2021 assembly election. So don't bank on the entire thing that the entire country is after Modi ji and Bharatiya Janata Party. There is a very, accept it or not, there is
no denying it. There is a 35% vote that has gone to the opposition. 48% has gone to the NDA. There is a 35% vote that's gone to the opposition and it still remains. But the fact is, sir, that 35% has remained a constant. It's not gone up. Clyde Castro quickly, and then we'll get you an update on Mamata Banerjee also. Yes, Clyde Castro.
Anand, hear me out. Anand, I mean, I've been watching your numbers. I'm seeing them. Fair enough, you've done your homework and you're doing all your exercise and everything's fair enough. But the fact of the matter is the ground reality is very different. And you know I am connected to the ground. Let me tell you one thing. The ground shows something different. I'm not taking anything away from the numbers that you're giving for the BJP. But here we are discussing Ajit Pawar. We're discussing Eknath Shinde. Believe me, the ground reality about these two groups are completely different. My friend Shehzad, whom I always have a healthy banter with, he gave an example of Sanjay Nirupam and Sanjay Raut. And if you start talking about this, there are so many people in the BJP who are upset. There are people who are leaving the BJP, going to the Congress. We had Mr. Nilesh Lanke, who's now left the Ajit Pawar group and is coming back to our group. So these things are going to happen. I just feel, see, Shehzad and I can keep going. He can give examples, I can give examples.
In the aftermath.
But the point here is very simple.
Mr.
I think
Castro,
it's a little too early to get to numbers.
I don't want to, let's not constantly only sort of obsess about one state now that we have the whole picture. Just one quick point though. It's funny that we are constantly now nitpicking when it's quite clear that this particular election is happening, and I'm not saying that, all results mirror, but there is a trend. The Congress threw the kitchen sink at the Hindi belt, where you had 3 significant states just in December, and in the lead up to that in November. Before that, you had Mr. Rahul Gandhi embarking on a Bharat Jodo Yatra. And what were the trends there? The BJP won 3. Even in Telangana, it's done better. And in Mizoram, it opened its account by 2, where even Christian candidates won. What does it tell you? It's carrying simply more people. More people are willing to trust it. That's the ground reality.
Can I just add one line to this? I completely agree with what Rahul is saying. And what these people are missing is, forget the numbers. They are missing that the template of politics has changed. They are trapped in the 1980s and 90s politics. OBC, caste reservation, North, South. These are not the issues. The issues of today, just 10 seconds more, Anand. The issues of today is that where is this country going as far as foreign policy is concerned? Where is it going as far as Garibi Hatao is concerned? Where is it going as far as taking the economies forward is concerned? And there is only one person talking about that, one party that's talking about and giving a vision. You can criticize us on our vision. You can say, why is it number 5 right now? Why is it number 4? But instead of doing that, what they're saying is, I am talking about GST mein kitna, OBC kitna.
See, I'll tell you what, this is, there is a point of...
It's not about OBC because that's why Khattar was replaced.
No, Anand, I'll tell you about that. As far as Saini is concerned, the party is very clear that this party is going to also give space to a lot of its karyakartas. Today, I am proud of the fact that there are a lot of 45 to 55-year-olds who are now becoming the second generation leaders. Whether it's Hemanta Biswa Sarma, whether it's Yogi Adityanath ji, whether it's Home Minister Amit Shah ji, who's in that same age bracket, whether it's Devendra Fadnavis ji, who's the Deputy CM, whether it's a younger lot, we in our party has a constant system where we are younger people are also coming up.
Despite big victories, they've also replaced Shivraj Chauhan. They also said that they look beyond Vasundhara Raje. So there you have to say that there is a certain understanding and learning that unless you promote the Karyakartas and the next generation, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you're not. There is a party with a plan, that's one aspect. But with respect to Maharashtra, BMC elections have been pushed. The state assembly elections are going to come in October. Somewhere one gets the feeling that by having 2 DCMs, 1 CM, they're showing that this Yuti can work. Because they are the three people. If these three can work together, then perhaps the UT will work together on ground, and some success in the Lok Sabha will translate into gains in the assembly elections. So this is a retrofit happening. कि Lok Sabha में अच्छा करेंगे तो यहाँ शायद हमारी किस्मत चमक जाएगी. So all is not well for the BJP also. Please understand that. And you've had big reversals also, sir. You've had big reversals in Karnataka. You've not got it right. 5 years of Kerala, and these 2 seats that you're projecting, that's also a surprise. 5 years in Kerala. First place the Prime Minister went to after winning 2019 was Guruvayur. And you still don't have the confidence to win 2 seats in Kerala. And there are 20 big states. There are 20 big states. Tamil Nadu, Annamalai and the legwork that he's doing, still not sure if you will win 5. Still not sure if you will win 5.
Anand,
so
Anand,
I'm
just
saying,
now,
sir,
now
there
let
are
me speak
clear
10 seconds to counter
where you need to do a lot of legwork.
We acknowledge that. Anand, who in their right mind would have said that 2 times you'll form government in Tripura? Who in their right mind would have said that we would have 10 years ago formed government in Haryana twice? Who in their right mind would have said that we would have formed government twice in Assam? Who in their right mind would have said from 2 to 18 we'll go in Bengal, and today we are going to be the #1 party? Who in their right mind would have said we'll be the largest party in Odisha? 5-10 years ago. तो ठीक है, you can taunt us कि केरला में अभी भी 2 सीट मुश्किल है, तमिलनाडु में 3 सीट मुश्किल है, but we are a party that never leaves 1 inch of this country. We take every place seriously. We take corporation elections seriously. We take Lok Sabha elections seriously. We give it our best shot.
From 2014, the Congress has not won there is one part. There is one part. I agree with Shahzad. They take every election seriously, but this election, you are using the crutches of the BJD, you're using the crutches of the Telugu Desam party, you're using the crutches of, I don't know, ADMK remnants and so on.
in UP.
For a party that says, you know, we are the numero uno, we want Congress mukt, you are basically using other people and other parties. I mean, look at the number of folks you've taken from, you know, that you say are corrupt. I'm not even getting into Ajit Pawar and so on, right?
May I respond?
Yeah.
The Congress party on a daily basis says this election is Modi versus Mudda. They are tying up with DMK, whom they call murderer of Rajiv Gandhi. They are tying up with Mamata Banerjee, whom they want Rashtrapati Shasan against. They are tying up with Aam Aadmi Party, who was calling them corrupt and was saying that in Punjab Ekti Congress.
No, please don't get into what about me. Don't get into what about me. Sir, you had 303 seats in the Lok Sabha in 2019.
Context के बाद अब जवाब दे. पहले तो context दूंगा ना कि context तो देखिए.
वो तो कोई
अब जवाब सुनिए. Now the jawab. The jawab is simply this. In Punjab, for the longest time, we had an alliance with the Akalis. That alliance did not get us any position in the big position in government. The reason we had it was not for political objectives alone, but for solidarity objectives where Hindu-Sikh unity could be maintained. Lot of our things are to keep this country united, and we do alliances not just based on political
In Bengal, what has happened is Arjun Singh, you wanted to break him, he brought him to he won the election, then he quit and he went and joined the Trinamool Congress. You bring in imports, the moment the weather, wind changes, they will go out. Where was the party Sangathan there? For 10 years, you were working in Bengal to improve the party Sangathan. No party Sangathan happened there. So there are many examples that can be given.
Why is the Trinamool Congress breaking people from Congress party and taking them?
They may have taken. Can we have the final breakup, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, right behind me, one important point where we need to know. From 303, the BJP taking support from everybody else has come to 350 seats. The BJP on its own, as per the News 18 mega opinion poll, is gaining 47 seats compared to 2019. And in terms of the number of allies and the strength of the allies in the NDA, Rahul Shivshankar, bear me out, they are actually a weaker grouping of the NDA this time around compared to 2019 when they had certain stronger groups, ladies and gentlemen. That's the big question. Overall, will this hold? Zaka Jacob, we got to wind up.
Well, 370 तो पार नहीं हुए, लेकिन 400 तो पार हो गए.
400 पार हो गए. Final word, have to wind up.
The number, the other challenge that is before the BJP is to see that there is no lethargy in their cadre workers to bring the committed voters to the voting booth, because many people will say, "Arey, long weekend, let's go away." Especially in places like Bangalore and Delhi and places like that, where they say, chalo, anyway, our party, which is like if they are committed voters of the BJP, our party is going to win anyway. Look at the opinion polls, look at the polls, we can take it easy. It now depends on whether the BJP is able to work with the same kind of enthusiasm to get those voters to the polling booth.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
the last
I have
vote
to
is
wind
not
up.
counted.
We have to wind up. Thank you very, very much to all our guests, to all those who polled, who took part in the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll, to Umesh Shah and his team at the News 18 Poll Hub, Zaka Jacob, Rahul Shivshankar, the entire team at the back end. Ladies and gentlemen, this is perhaps the biggest, most comprehensive opinion poll that's been conducted in the recent times. How the numbers stick eventually, you, Janta Janardhan, 97 crore voters have to decide. But for us, thank you very much. It's been a fantastic 2 days. Thank you very much for joining us. And that's the number. As we zoom out of the studios, that's Narendra Modi and team BJP in the NDA zooming to 400 par.